Warning: the following contains explicit language and subject matter that may not be suitable for younger listeners, church folk, and people who enjoy kale smoothies.
Hey, everybody ready to do a little toast?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to 2021.
Salud.
Good to see you guys. I can't reach you.
Salud.
Salute.
Salud.
Opa.
Well, thank you guys for agreeing to be on episode 100.
Oh, man. I'm
Yeah, no worries.
delighted to be here, man. It's a pleasure.
Congrats for getting here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You've been doing it for a while.
It's been 2 years. I feel like I should probably do an intro first. What do you think?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Pod Amongst Men. I'm your host, Steve B., and these are Coffee Break Conversations for the 21st Century, and we are at episode 100. We made it.
Yes, we did.
We good?
We
It's a little shaky.
we made it, but now it's fucking up.
We almost lost it just now.
Yeah, my bad.
So I got some alumni on the show today.
Absolutely. Yes, indeedy.
So I got Drew K.
What's up?
I got Laquan,
How you doing?
and I got Rashaun,
What's
and
good?
I got me, Steve B. So you guys are some of the original guests I ever had on the show.
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah.
we were doing it back in the old
yeah.
Back a while.
dining room?
The old
Absolutely.
house.
Good times, Ben.
I feel like we're all on call whenever you need us, you know?
I know.
I'm on permanent call.
Yeah.
It's been 20 something years.
Absolutely.
Rashawn's on call because now he needs a reason to get out of the house.
Well, I was gonna say I don't want to get him in trouble now because he's
Nah.
engaged.
See, the
Oh,
key
congrats,
is communication. So whenever anyone asks me to do anything, the key is to let her know a week in advance. That way it
Yeah.
doesn't backfire on me.
Yeah. Just by the way, I'm doing this, and then if she forgets,
She did
'Cause
forget
I-
today, but as soon as I told her, you don't remember? She goes, yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Allison actually remembered, but I would have forgotten, so she'll remind me of shit that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yep. That's how it goes sometimes.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Laquan? You still a single man?
Oh, yeah. I'm just playing the field. I'm good where I'm at right now. You know, I get to live vicariously through my friends and see what they're doing. And yeah, I'm good right now. I don't want to rush myself into a situation I'll regret. So
I would imagine right now the dating scene is not great anyway, because you
Yeah.
can't do anything or meet anybody.
Yeah.
well,
mean, you
even
still
in your
kinda
30s,
can.
like where I'm
Yeah.
at, it's like the type of women that I come across. It's like I'd like to use the phrase. It's like shopping on a clearance rack.
Oh, Lord.
Well, yeah.
Oh no.
What's the problem with our age? I mean,
Yeah.
most of the, I guess you say a lot of the good girls are already taken, settled down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but whatever happens.
But Drew's right. It has been kind of a weird year for dating.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year for pretty much everything.
Yeah. But like you want to go and meet somebody like online or something, and then like you don't know how safe they're being and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, we got to go sit across from each other at a table for 2.5 hours or whatever, getting to know each other, and it's like, do I kiss her at the end? Has she been out without a mask, just all willy-nilly?
That's a whole different.
You're taking your
game.
life in your hands now. Just
Yeah.
going to the fucking grocery store. Even.
Well, funny that you talk about dating. I'm dating girls, and I date during the pandemic. I find it weird that you got to wear a mask when you see them because you don't know if that's really that person. That's what kinda makes
I was
it
just
awkward-
going to say that.
awkward off the bat.
Uh-huh.
And then one date or person that I dated in particular, she was dating other dudes. So that was kind of like weird to me because it was like, all right, so if you're dating other dudes, obviously you're not interested in just me as the only guy, but you're dating other guys and putting me in like risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I just felt some type of way about that. It was a little reckless. So
I
Rightfully
think,
so.
Yeah, I think you'd be very justified
yeah,
in feeling
no,
that way.
that's kind of what like stopped that whole thing.
Yeah.
Obviously the fact that she's dating other dudes too, but I was just like, nah, this
Well,
isn't gonna move any further.
One thing I was thinking about, it's got to be weird, like going on like a first date with somebody right now, where he's got their masks on. Oh shit, this bitch is Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah. Can
I
you
don't know
imagine
why-
trying to meet someone like
Well,
straight
here's
up?
the thing.
I can't. I don't want to imagine.
It's good if you have nice eyes, and for the most part,
really
most
is.
women have nice eyes. So it's like you're almost like it's a facade almost because like I've seen people take their mask off, and I'm like, damn, like I'm like, all right,
I was
put that
just
back
gonna
on.
say
Which
that.
which damn was that? Was that like damn or damn?
That was like a damn.
It's like the bad damn.
Oh, no.
Like, I didn't know it could get that bad, but it is that bad. So
It's like those old Looney Tunes cartoons. You see the woman with like the little
Oh,
Arabian
yeah.
little thing on.
Yeah.
And she takes it all. And
the
you got like the
nose and
fucking
stuff.
summer
Yep.
teeth and whatnot.
And that's not all cases, but I've found that to happen from time to time. you know.
Yeah.
Girl
They-
slips out the store, and I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't do anything.
I guess in a sense it teaches you to be a little less shallow because you get to know somebody from here up, and it's
Pretty
like,
much.
all right, you know what, I like her. I really don't care what her teeth look like.
You say that.
You say that.
So that mask gets lowered.
All right.
Oh,
so
we're horrible people.
that's okay.
Well, me.
Listen, tonight is
Hey, they look at our teeth first. Our teeth and our nails are the first things girls look at. So
Really?
absolutely.
Interesting.
So we should
They didn't
definitely
even know.
be. I think guys should absolutely be looking at the mouthpiece first.
I think, I mean, it's totally natural when for the first time you meet somebody, you're checking them out physically.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's kind of how it all starts.
Yeah.
There has to be an attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise, like I tell Rashaun, I jokingly say it, I'm cheating on you. It's not going to be any debates. If I marry you and I'm not attracted to you, you're getting cheated on.
Well, I think there has to be that physical attraction because then when shit starts to go wrong, like you start to fight about stuff, it's like, well, at least she still looks real good.
Yeah.
You still got something to work for.
Now imagine having that same plight and then saying, damn, she looks ugly as hell.
It'd be like Martin Lawrence. He played like the old drunk husband. When I
Exactly.
first met you, you was the most beautiful thing I ever seen. You was a round away girl.
Oh, no.
Nah, you just a
that
big bitch from up
down
the street. But-
Oh, too funny.
All right, so obviously this last year has been a doozy.
A bit much.
Been a crazy year.
It's flown.
Have you guys been personally affected by anything? I mean, aside from the quarantine things being shut down, but has it really affected you guys in any way?
Who wants to go first?
In a positive way, I'd say it
Well,
has.
I mean, for you, I mean, it was a big year for you.
Yeah.
Some big stuff happened.
Yeah, I got engaged. I mean, work has been going great. The side hustle game's been picking up too, you know. So I feel like it's just made me be less of a lazier person. Outside of the fact of me slowing down from going to the gym, but COVID obviously put the doorstop on that one.
Yeah,
So-
nothing you could do about that one.
But yeah, outside of that, I feel like as a person with my time, I feel like I'm using it, you know, the right way.
More efficiently.
Yeah, more efficiently. I'm definitely doing more things, learning a lot too between documentaries and all that stuff, and obviously being confined in the house. I don't know. I don't feel like obviously you want to go out, you want to hang out with people, you want that whole atmosphere, but just me personally, I feel like I've been doing all right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I'm spitting on myself here. Oh, this is my mic, you know.
It's a beautiful
What about you? What about you, Drewby?
I like to preface this. People have asked how my year's been with COVID and everything. I like to preface this by saying I feel bad for everybody. You know, people are losing their jobs and everything like that. I'm having a great year. I actually had some advantages from this. Like being a small business owner, I have the SBA loans and stuff like that I was able to take out, help with my guys' payroll and stuff like that. But the big loan that I was able to take offered me the ability to buy out my business partner because, you know, things were a little slow this year and everything, and he decided to pull back from the business, and I was able to do it in just one lump sum, and rather than drag it out for a while and everything like that, just was able to get him out of the business and, you know, become my own boss.
How do you like that, by the way?
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Haven't really gotten the chance to really feel it yet because he stayed on until the end of the year. Him and I are still very close friends. It was very amicable, no bad blood or anything like that. So he stayed on till the end of the year. I actually bought him out in August, so I became the sole owner. But he stayed on. He was still at his full salary and everything like that just to help out. Okay. And then at the end of the year, he took some equipment and stuff with him, and I had to replace that. But, you know, I like took over all the ownership responsibilities and everything like that, which honestly I'd been doing most of it anyway. Mm-hmm. But I haven't really had, and you know, now it's winter. I'm a landscaper, so I'm off. So I haven't really had like a season of just me without him So I'm looking forward to that, but financially it's been significantly better without having to constantly, run money out to him as well. Because him and I were 50-50. He made exactly what I made, so if I had a good week, I had to make sure he had a good week too.
Absolutely.
So
At least you don't have to pay for the cigarettes on the company card anymore.
that is true. Yeah. So that was one of the big things, is him using company money for things that
That's ridiculous.
weren't company
That's
stuff.
not company related
Yeah,
at all.
buying his family dinner and stuff like I'm going out and getting a couple pizzas, things like that.
Must be doing
and
a monster tax write-off right there.
actually, we
Business
don't.
meeting.
Look one.
You know,
a little bit closer to you.
I would like to, but we don't
just
really.
like that.
You got it.
We're able to write off so much stuff with like fuel and machines and trucks and this and that that it gets to a certain point where it's like, all right, we're writing off a little bit much. Like, don't push the envelope. Don't start adding meals and stuff like that. So we never even touch that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense though. You don't want to touch those
See,
factors at all.
I can because of the nature of my business, I can kind of double dip in write-offs because usually you can write off either
Listen,
fuel.
Don't start incriminating yourself here, okay? Because this shit might get big. You don't even know.
No, I'm not.
People need to
I'm
pay
not.
for this game.
I'm not. This is all above board. So
Don't start pulling like Tekashi 6ix9ine and admitting to shit that you shouldn't have fucking done.
Because the internet is getting a lot of people in trouble today. I must
There'd be
say.
a lot of people snitching.
wait, what happened?
Look, Mom, I'm at the Capitol.
You know what? Never mind. Good year. Yay, COVID.
We're very happy for you, brother.
Thank
It's
you.
a beautiful
and
thing.
also, I got engaged.
Yes, you did. We had
Congratulations.
two
Congratulations.
engagements.
Two
here.
engagements right there.
There you go. Hey.
Laquan, man, you're up.
I had a good year. This year was I guess weird for the dating thing, but as far as working goes and finances and managing finances, paying off debt, I had a phenomenal year in that regard. And just having a plan to move forward with what I want to do for myself and how I want to generate more wealth. So I've been getting into investments. That's been having a kick-ass year. So, and just spreading my money where I can have it, do other things
playing
for
around
me.
with stocks.
Yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
think it's like a volatile time to be doing that. Like it's kind of
It was volatile when the pandemic hit,
Until he saw what I was doing.
but
Oh shit.
but other things happen, and then you see the market start shooting up, and you want to be a part of that. I don't want to start talking like, damn, I should have put this in when I had a chance. Same thing happened with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was literally in the 3,000, and it's all the way up to like 35,000 right now.
Jesus
for a damn
Christ.
coin. So a coin you can't even see.
Yeah,
mind you.
for an imaginary coin.
For a fake coin. Perfect.
But that just shows you, like, I don't want to miss opportunities. Even now, I'm trying to find opportunities in like smaller risk stocks, penny stocks, lower stocks where it was an Amazon at one point and it could be something else. So I'm not here to like give investment tips, but I would say look into nickel, stuff like that, where electric cars and things like that are going to be a lot more prevalent moving down the road.
Smart.
So yeah.
Hey man, do a little Jordan Bell for it. Maybe.
I don't know if I'm him. He's a little bit of a sleaze. So,
That's true. I
yeah,
don't want to associate you with any grease balls.
yeah.
I don't know who that is.
The guy from Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, you know what? I still have to see that movie.
You haven't seen it yet?
I
Wild,
know, I'm
bro.
the worst. There's
Wild.
so there's
I'm pretty sure I got a movie or two like that though. That I
there
haven't
there
seen
are
yet.
definitely some movies that are on the list of 100 movies that you have to see in your lifetime that I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen that. People are like, what? Because like Steve is definitely very much a movie guy. Like that's a thing that he's known for.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that a little bit, but like, I'm quoting movies all the time and stuff like that. I know a lot about different actors and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But there are certain movies that I just never got around to seeing. Never seen The Godfather.
Wow.
Like classics.
you didn't say that one.
I'll be
That's-
honest
I
with you.
said
You
that
gotta
one.
see
We're
that.
talking about The Godfather.
I've watched it probably 100 times.
Full
or
disclosure. Full disclosure. I didn't see the movie until I had already played the video game.
more. On PlayStation.
Yeah.
I remember
Well,
that was on
Xbox
Play.
One.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and I played through that. I'm like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. And I watched the movie. I'm like, oh yeah, they really did. They made this just like the movie.
I watched it as a kid, didn't quite understand it, and when you watch something again and you're older and you're like, oh,
I'll give you
no.
a perfect example.
you're like, that's why he came out of the room and they were all standing in the staircase. He was smashing. Okay.
Yeah, you don't pick up on some
Yeah,
things
you
when
don't
you're a
pick
kid.
up, yeah.
I would give you a perfect example. The first Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay.
You like watching that in the 1990 when it came
89.
out. 89.
Yep.
I remember. I don't even think I was in first grade yet.
Yeah.
And like I loved it. It was the Ninja Turtles, and then I would go back and watch it as I was older. I was like, oh shit! Like there's a lot of jokes in here that went right over my head.
way over because
Yeah.
you're a kid and you don't get it. And...
There's a part if you remember
Kratos.
when after they left the old like the country house and they came back, and then they're making fun of Casey Jones, and Donatello says, "You're a claustrophobic." He goes, "You want a fist in the mouth? I never even looked at another man." I never even understood that until and. My buddies, the Three
definitely went
Ninjas,
over
they
my
were
head.
talking about that on one of their episodes, and I was sitting there like, I've been saying that for years.
That's funny.
But there's so much humor that just was a little bit advanced for us.
I actually like that kids' movies are doing that nowadays. Like the animated, like a great example is the Shrek movies.
Oh, that
Like
was the blueprint.
Shrek. Like there is so many jokes that are really adult oriented that you can go to see this with your kids.
I'll give you one before Shrek that kind of built. It's a cartoon. SpongeBob.
I never watched it.
If you pay attention to a lot of the content in it,
It's
it's very adult. You're almost like, damn, kids are watching this.
No, it's like Ren and Stimpy too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
Ren
that-
and Stimpy.
that,
I
like,
knew I
watching-
wasn't supposed to be watching that. Though.
Yeah, that one was blatantly
Yeah,
like
I
I shouldn't
knew.
be watching.
That
This.
was
Something-
that was on some Adult Swim like late at night. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the vibes Ren and Stimpy gave me.
Yeah.
That wasn't like your mom would be watching it with you. Like, wait, what are you watching? He just
like-
called him what? Oh no!
It's like when you get a new CD as a kid and you want to have, oh mom, could you play this on the radio in the car? And all of a sudden they start cursing in the song. She's like, what is this trash you're listening to?
throws your CD out the window.
Yeah.
My mom would let us buy that
Off
trash.
the
Actually,
window.
we just
Yeah,
couldn't
mine
recite it in school. That was the only rules. I'm serious.
My mom let me
Whatever
buy
we
it.
wanted.
She just
Yeah.
wanted to, she would just like bitch at me and say like, what are you listening to? What is this?
Yeah.
It's the
I don't
Red Hot
think
Chili
she,
Peppers, mom.
she didn't have to like it, but I think she understood. Hey, you gotta develop as a person and understand what you like and what you don't like.
That happens. Everybody, when you're a kid, you like all the stuff your parents don't like, and then you grow up and have kids of your own, and then you don't like the stuff that they like, and it's just
Yeah.
a big circle.
That's
Yeah.
why I would, if I ever have kids, I would let them listen to whatever the hell they want. Listen to whatever you want.
My son,
Just don't go to school and make a bad example of me.
Yeah. My son likes
Yeah.
these. He's into anime now.
Oh,
He likes-
everyone's into anime now.
But he
man.
likes these raps on YouTube where it's like these English guys. They make raps about the anime, but it's not like there's no structure. There's no verse and chorus. It's just a one long verse for like 4 minutes about Naruto. It's like, bro, this is not real. Like, I don't want to say it's not real music, but like this is not it. This is not,
So you don't approve.
I don't approve, but at the same time, like, I know my parents wouldn't have approved of everything I liked when
Yeah.
I was his age. So
But you at the same
But
time want to
honestly-
like sit him down and like show him real hip hop.
I try to, like, and it's just not.
Everything we listened to was dope.
Yeah.
We had Michael Jackson. We had MC Hammer.
We grew up in a good
Pretty
time
sure our
music
parents
wise.
said the same thing at one point. You
Yeah.
know?
Mom was listening to the same stuff we was listening to.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Yeah. Well, I grew up on so much different music because my dad was much more old school, so he listened to all
shit is
50s and
amazing.
60s stuff. Motown, all the Temptations
say
and
about
stuff
this
like
stuff?
that.
This is
Frankie
amazing.
Valli.
What's wrong? This stuff,
Bamboo.
boom boom. I don't know.
I think once I
seen
got
it
into
looked
like the more hardcore
amazing.
hip hop, that's where my mom was like, okay,
Okay, I'm done.
yeah. I think Tupac was like the threshold for her. Anything
Okay.
like past that was just like, okay, I can't really like.
That's not true. You were listening to Onyx. Shut the fuck up.
No, mom wouldn't listen to that. Is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
all right.
That's what he's saying.
Oh,
He
yeah,
can still
yeah,
listen.
yeah.
That's where she
I
couldn't
said
relate
her threshold
anymore.
was like Tupac.
And I'm
so-
not telling them to shut the fuck up. That was the name of the song. Like,
No.
or no, back the fuck up. That's what it was.
Yeah, I had to take.
That was
I
the
thought you were
first-
telling him to
No,
shut
no,
the
no.
fuck up.
This is the
was-
first cassette
They're
she let me
brothers,
buy,
but,
and I
I'm
was
sure
7.
they've said
You
worse.
popped
Oh,
the CD.
damn.
I remember when he got it. He popped that thing in the tape deck, and the first
you
three
hear
was
is
just back the fuck up. Like that's how it started. It was like, oh,
My mom turns it down.
No.
She goes, "Hold on." She goes, she turns it down and turns around. He was in a Buick, I think, and she said, "You're not gonna go to school and recite any of this." She goes, "Because if you do, I'm gonna whoop your ass." And I was just like, "Okay, that's clear." I would say all the words to myself, but I would never let that come out loud. So that was our little deal. But
fair.
That's a
man,
good deal.
I thought
Yeah.
it was a good deal because that showed me that, especially with my mom, because my mom was pretty strict. I think for us, as far as like development and learning about control,
Yeah, that taught you self control.
exactly. Because you can't
Okay.
just go out and say
got
what
the
you
same
want,
one.
even if
Yeah.
like look at the stuff what people say on social media and they get fired.
oh
You
yeah.
can't just say what you want if you work for somebody, especially if you're your own
No.
business owner. Even you can't just say what you want in the respect where
That
you
even
gotta,
has consequences.
You service
Yeah.
people that have different views than you do.
Yeah.
So that's not really appropriate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people really grasp that. That's why I'm not on social media. I don't even care what people are, because even if you do have different views than me, I know a lot of good people that don't agree with what I agree with, and they're good people, and I get along with them, and that's really kind of all that matters. If you think about it.
That's the real tricky thing right now. It's real tricky because
I think some people push the line though, and I don't want to put those people that are good people in the same box as people that aren't good people.
Well, here's the thing: like we obviously we can't judge an entire group of people based
can't.
on a few.
You can't.
But at the same time, I mean, obviously, in this politically charged time that we're living in, we see shit that's going on in the news, and it's like, okay, you're either with this or not. And you can't just kind of be mealy-mouthed about it. You can't say,
there's no gray area.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I don't like this, but I still like the other stuff. Like, no, it's a package deal, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways sometimes.
That's true.
That's why I say it's tricky, because there's a lot of good people I know that maybe disagree with me politically, but it's like, this is not the time to mince words. You know what
I feel
mean?
like there's some stuff that's like a hard no. Like, no, no, that's... It just makes it difficult in a sense, because you get this one point that you don't agree with, and then this person's sitting there riding on all these other points, and then they sidestep that one point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hold on, wait, how are you still in this arena of like, or the cult, or how are you still following this? I don't get it.
A lot of people have to do like mental gymnastics to justify
And I've
shit.
been seeing a lot of backpedaling. Like, I really don't even get into it at all, to be honest, but
me neither.
it's hilarious to see it. Like, it's even more hilarious knowing that I don't even get into the banter with anyone. Like, I just sit there, I mind my business, and
I'm
I get my popcorn.
non-confrontational. I stay back.
Yep, and I just let people just destroy their own reputations, you know? And it also
It's
just
entertainment.
Yeah, it also just lets me
Tyler
kind
got
of
it.
see who's who, and what's what, because at the end of the day, like you said, like, there's no, oh, I'm gonna ride with these points and just sidestep that point. It ain't got nothing to do with it. No, it doesn't work like that.
You can't cherry pick shit sometimes.
So if you're riding with that person because of all those points minus one, you're riding with them all. So
Yeah,
in
I
for a
think,
penny, in for a pound, baby.
yep.
Yeah, so for me, like politics, since I'm very apolitical. I don't pay attention to it. Right, left, this and that.
Don't sell yourself short. I've seen you in the last few months. You seem like you had a little bit of an awakening.
Shit got real for a while. Okay.
What's right is right. That's basically what it comes down to.
When it starts interfering with people's basic human rights, then I'm like, you know what? You kind of suck. Fuck off.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to, though.
Yeah.
You have to let people know. It's like, listen, I'm not part of this. I don't want anything to do with this. This is fucked up. Even if you really are apolitical, like, you still know right from wrong.
Yeah,
of course.
Exactly.
But
Well,
I
you
think
would
some.
think, but
I
some
think
people
in some
don't.
cases, some people's political decisions get in the way of morality too. There's just a problem with that. I don't really see that as making them any worse off than they are, though. In my opinion, I think everyone's gonna feel.
It makes it a little selfish, in my opinion, but I mean that's neither here nor there.
I think some of your political standpoints can kind of show the type of moral fortitude that you have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
look what you're making exceptions for.
Yeah.
No, I'm not making.
No, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not you. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, in general.
Because I would even say
I'm not
like,
accusing you of
yeah,
anything.
no. I was gonna say because I think it goes back and forth. I think if people pay attention to policies, I think we would agree with things on both sides. They just don't get explained or drawn out for people.
Absolutely.
Because they don't care to do their own research.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this like divide, it doesn't make sense. Because they're telling what the media portrays or what people say in the media isn't what's really going on. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. But I don't know. I kind of I'm of the mind where at this point now, we're kind of running out of excuses for people to not be informed. Like, we know we know there's bogus shit out there. We know that there's slanted news. We know that there's even fake. There is legit fake news in some cases. But the problem is, it's way past time for people to be aware of that.
And just to be clear, fake news is anything that's, and to each their own when it comes to the news channels, because I'm not even going to go there. But
I watch them all.
Fox,
Yeah, watch everything.
MSNBC,
all.
you should watch everything
I
if
watch
you're a
Fox.
well-rounded person.
I watch.
You got
CNN,
ABC.
I watch all of them.
You got CNN. You got all of that other stuff. You got C-SPAN. Watch it all. I feel like if you're not watching any of those and you're bringing up some one-off name I've never heard of.
Oh, look at this guy from YouTube said that they stole
That's
the
the
election.
worst.
That's a
the worst.
GTOF. Period.
So, who is this guy? Oh, he's got a YouTube
The
show.
Fred. Fred. You know Fred.
But see, then
This guy, he's got a YouTube show. He's at a desk for fuck's
It's funny
sake.
when you ask someone to give you a reference or a source, and then they give you one of those, and it's
Yeah.
like,
But then this loose term like sheep and snowflake gets thrown out, and I don't get it. But
Like
I'm
I
not
said,
gonna call anyone
backpedaling.
that.
There's a guy on Instagram. His name is Brent Terhune. He's like a Southern guy, and he makes these videos where it's like he's kind of making fun of like the old the MAGA people, and he pretends like he's one of them, and it's like he's showing all these pictures. He's like, look at this. It's like a picture of like all these documents like shredded in front of like a dumpster.
Yep.
And look at it, they're shredding votes and stuff. I know you're gonna say, oh well, how do you know that has anything to do with voting? How do you know that has anything to do with the election? Oh, what? You know what? It does to me. It does to me. But it's like it's almost we're at the point now where we're kind of beyond parody. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't sound too far from
Yeah.
what I've heard people say, which is fucked up.
it really is, man. It's almost mind blowing that it's real.
But
When
here's
satire and real life come so close,
Yeah.
it's like, oh God.
It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, like in
Oh,
real
no.
life.
and I think here's the whole point of it all, of what I think we're making of all of this. For me, at least, I can never let any politician, any
fucking
celebrity,
into them.
I'm sorry,
You
any
got it.
celebrity, any entertainer, no one's gonna
not following
push me or
nobody.
push my mind
Not like
to
that.
think what I want to think. I'm gonna think what I want to think. No one's ever gonna lead me. I would never be. I don't care if it's on a Democratic standpoint or whatever it is. You'll never see me going anywhere to go fight for anybody's cause.
The only people you guys are, or I think all of us could agree, the only people that any of us are catching a charge for are our significant others or our family members.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
about
it.
it.
I'd catch a charge for a few people.
Yeah, no,
That's
and
true.
some,
No, that's true.
I consider some friends family, so
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
But I think you fight for what you're living for now and what's around you now. I
Mm-hmm.
think these people live in this facade, like that stuff matters to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, for me, at least like what we just discussed with this whole pandemic, even like politically what's going on, that's not going to affect, unless you're in a different line of work, obviously, because people have lost jobs, but that's not going to affect who's paying you, you know? I'm going to talk in good terms, like outside of the pandemic. If politics were politics and you got a good job, times are good, you're getting paid, those things are not going to affect you. They're going to affect those different policies that matter
Yeah.
to people will, but I'm saying to put yourself in that position of where you're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Over something that's not going to affect your life at all.
over lies though.
Yeah.
Not even actual facts. That's where it's mind blowing, and that's
Yeah.
where it just gets like I almost feel like I gotta pinch myself because it's like, dude, this is really happening. There's
People
people
gotta-
out there that are really like this misinformed, but at the same time, you got a whole 4 years of just letting them tell them all these things, and we've only gotten to a recent period where it's been fact checked.
Well, you literally have with the internet. It's like these people are trying to drink out of a fire hose of misinformation,
Yeah.
and it's just pointed directly at their head. And a lot of these people don't have that discerning eye to be able to spot, the tells. And when you say, "Oh, this is a bullshit page," or this article is, completely
Well, how?
skewed.
Like it all goes down to
Because
what-
they're hearing what they want to hear.
Exactly.
It's that
Yeah, I get
confirmation
that. Okay.
bias.
Yeah.
It's
you
being
know.
funneled down to them that in that way.
When people seek out the news that already coincides with what they believe in.
Well, now
You
you
put
don't even have
yourself-
to seek it out. The Facebook algorithms and everything,
Yeah,
like,
they throw it right in front of you.
yeah, like it just, kind of points you in one direction. And like, if you're not a well-rounded person, you don't go to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
You get very one-sided information. You don't
Yeah.
get to hear the other side.
I remember a good friend of mine sent me information on the vaccine, and the information he sent me just looked so unbelievable. I
Is
was
this
like,
the thing about the demon sperm and the?
no, I don't think it was about that.
Oh, you were
but
kidding? You were serious?
it
You know,
was-
that's a real thing. That was a.
Oh,
that
I
was
thought that was a
doctor.
joke. That's why I laughed so hard.
No, there was a doctor.
Carry on.
This lady, she was like a super religious doctor, which I didn't know that could be a thing. But
Yeah.
she was saying that she was telling them that like COVID was essentially bullshit. She said Trump was pushing this lady, and if they look back in her history, and she had made all these speeches about when you get like AIDS or something, it's because a demon had sex with you in your sleep. And I know I'm
You're
probably
unprotected sex,
You got to be in
okay.
I'm
another
botching
world,
this whole
another
explanation,
realm
but
to
it's
I think
believe
I
something-
missed that semester in medical school.
It was around the summertime. It's something around that. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. All right, let's change subjects to something a little more fun.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Awesome.
All right, so let's rewind about 2 years now. It's January of 2019.
That sounds more fun.
We're 2 streets away from here, in my old dining room.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I knew it was close. I was like, oh.
I first told you guys I was starting a podcast. Be honest. What did you think when I was telling you guys I want you guys to be involved? What did you think? You think all right,
To be honest, I was just starting my YouTube career, so I was 100% supportive of it because you see everyone coming out with their own podcast channels to talk about the things that they want to talk about. You see people with their YouTube channels and focusing on the things that they want to focus on, the things that they're passionate about. And and first and foremost, a lot of people are doing these things because it's their hobby. It's something they enjoy to do. Mm-hmm. But when you're seeing people legit make money off of it, and it's something that you're passionate about, and it's not really considered work for you, why not? And that's what I kind of felt when you told me that. I was just like, all right, go for it, man. Go for I want to see you get big. So that's where, as soon as you said that was just my whole thought process.
What about you guys?
Go for the gusto.
So for me,
now, I'm going to preface Drew's answer. I don't know what you're going to say, but Drew has been involved with pretty much all the creative shit that I've done in the past,
Right.
Especially music.
Yep.
Actually, the 3 of you guys have been all the people that I've consistently worked with in music.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Drew have done every band I was in with Drew.
Yep.
All the the studio stuff I've ever done was with you guys.
Yep.
So
That was fun.
So for me, it was nice to see you do something for you again, because for a while, obviously no disrespect or anything, when you got married and everything, you started being just very focused on the family, and didn't seem like
Fax Kellerman.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like you were doing anything just for you. Obviously, you have to do this, take care of the family. They moved up here and everything for you. So big changes for them, and you had to, make them feel welcome and at home and whatnot. But it was good to see you just do something that you wanted to do, just for you, nobody else, just a hobby to have fun.
Agreed.
So, I mean, this is something I talked about on the show lots of times.
Mm-hmm.
When I got married, when Betty and Tyler first moved up here, I was trying to look at the big picture. They left Miami. They left everything they knew to come up here and
Dude,
start.
they left tropical weather to come to this shithole.
Exactly. That ain't nothing.
What?
It's really cold out right now.
It's very cold.
The air hurts my face.
But I was trying to keep that in mind. So anytime I got annoyed, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I do everything around here. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I didn't have to fucking move. I didn't have to leave everything I know. They did, and I always kept that in mind. So anytime I got tired or fed up, I was like, well, no, that we got to keep it fair.
Yeah, they fucking earned it.
Yeah, they earned it. So
Big time.
That was always my thing, and yeah, for sure. At one point, it's a big adjustment to get married, and then it's another big adjustment to become a dad. And then when her parents moved up here too, now I have a full house. Now privacy, what's that? That's a thing of the past. So, and it's not a knock
I believe
on
it's
them.
pronounced privacy.
Yeah.
It happens as families evolve.
Yeah.
It was an end to my privacy.
My man just want to go stand up next to the window with his little man hanging for once. I mean, just one time.
But no, it was such a big adjustment. And yeah, I'll admit, there was a point in time where I kind of felt like I kind of lost me.
You lost you.
Yeah. I only exist now as this. And I mean, now that I've kind of worked through a lot of that stuff, I still see myself that I still kind of mainly exist as a husband and as a dad, but that's a good thing, But that's
a great thing.
With this podcast, that was it was a way for me to have a creative outlet, but still talk, because again, I've talked about this. When I was still going through the hardest points, when I was almost like an identity crisis kind of, it was a podcast just like this that kind of helped me out. I heard guys, they were just regular dads. It was 36 Chambers of Fatherhood. Shout out Neek Rusher, my man from Harlem. He's been on the show before. Good dude.
Cool.
I want to have him back. But with that show, there was just guys talking about having kids and being a husband, the regular shit, the
Regular
everyday
guys,
shit.
not celebrities or anything.
It's
Everyday things that happen in life.
but that was the biggest thing, because it's this is not like a comedian. It's not some guy who fucking works 2 hours a night and then he can sleep till 12, in the afternoon. This is a guy who has responsibilities, and he's talking about the same shit that I go through. It made me feel less alone. You know, which again, not a knock on my wife because it's not like she wasn't doing her thing. It was just I didn't know how to adjust. I didn't know how to deal with it.
You forgot how to be you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And I'll say, man, like I give you 100% credit for that because I'm in the myself, and I know Drew's probably in the beginning stages of it, where I'm kind of like learning that, like, you know, like, yeah, you gotta compromise on some things. It's not all about what you want to do sometimes, and at the same time, you do want to have time to do things, you know, for yourself. But it's a big change from what I'm used to.
Absolutely, man.
And just having and I'm realizing, you know, more and more I have to give more of myself. I have to be fair. So I get exactly what you're saying, and I give you credit for it.
It's different for him because they've been living together how many years now?
6.5 years.
Oh, so you're way
I'm
above. You're way
already married.
ahead of me.
People-
Yeah, you're ahead of me.
People keep asking me, like, how is it different? And I'm like, it's fucking not.
This is
She says the same
Yeah,
thing.
you
She's
guys
like,
got
I'm
each
like, there's a
other.
ring on her we now. Like,
Yeah,
we went to
This
bed.
hand
now it's
hangs a little
title.
lower.
Now
Yeah.
it's just the title.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to saying fiance. Like, I've introduced her as my girlfriend a couple times
I
in
did
the
that
last couple
once.
weeks. And
Yeah,
she
looked at you
looked, I
funny?
was like,
about
oh
to
no.
say- Yeah, I was going to say, has she
Actually,
looked
no,
at you
give the
funny?
side
I
eye.
believe it's pronounced fiancier.
Financier.
Finance.
Financier.
I mean, fiance. My bad.
So, you know, obviously 2 years ago versus where we are now, like the podcast has grown a little bit.
Quite a bit,
You know,
yeah.
like the listeners have grown a little bit. The production has grown. I've had one of the things, like with the pandemic, everything was forced to Zoom for a while, and even now
Yeah.
it's still on Zoom. But it allows me to reach out to people that I would never normally be able to get in studio.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to have some people on here that were, you know, really didn't have to take the time to talk to me. Like people, like comedians and
That's still
Like
that's still
doctors and
awesome
stuff.
though.
And that's what I'm here for.
But here's the thing though, why wouldn't they take the time with you?
well, that's the thing. Normally,
There's
because
so many people out there that, like, think about it this way. Why continuously, like, not like you can't have a good relationship with certain people, but why continue to do certain things with the same people? You got to spread yourself out a little bit. And I'm not saying spreading yourself thin, but you to other people to where you can learn from other people.
And touch
'Cause
other
life's about,
audiences.
life is about growing.
Well,
And-
you got to keep in mind too. It's kind of like a big time, small time thing. So it's like some people are a little more known, have a
Some
much
people
bigger.
are full of themselves.
Well, no,
I get it.
and I'm not. It's not that I don't want to say that because some of these guys like
Some people
They're
work
not-
hard to get known.
Yeah,
like,
it's
you
No,
just
know
no,
what
I
I'm
understand that, but I'm
They're
saying
not fooling
some
themselves.
people get to a point where they forget
yeah, they look
what
down
it took
on us.
exactly what it took to get
I
to
get
that
what
point.
you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I've seen plenty of celebrities who give that regular Joe a chance and at least give him the time to listen. That means a lot to that person.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to some of the guys that kind of, you know, reached out and helped out a little small time guys. Shout out to Corey Ryan Forrester.
Shout out
and
to
Drew
Corey.
Morgan from the Well Read podcast.
Drew.
Shout out to Dion Curry from the Pat Down with Miss Pat.
Okay.
Shout out to Angelo. You know, he's Charlemagne's right hand man.
You got to stop this. There's somebody that's like, he's gonna get me, and then you're gonna forget. And
I know,
gonna be
I'm probably gonna
motherfucker.
forget.
I'm never going back on that show.
But no, like these are guys that, you know, with the pandemic, you know, everybody's kind of not doing much. So
Right.
I figured this is a great time to reach out to people who normally I wouldn't get, and like, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
doing shit else. Let's do it. So they're nice dudes, man. Like they didn't have to do that, but they did. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
And I think there's a almost positive side effect from the pandemic that a lot of people have realized they can do so much more through Zoom
Yeah.
and things like that. You know, like you can still have these guests because even though they're, you know, across the country or something, they're doing something. If they have an hour of free time in the evening, then, you know,
Yeah,
You-
trying
you
to
I
get
them
think
in.
I think even sitting at home makes you want to do more.
yeah.
'Cause
Well,
you
that's
just-
true. You can
sitting
see
there-
you can
sitting there
see
gets
who's
very
like
dull.
flourishing right now. You can see who's really working, even though like stuff shut down. There's people
Not
out there
me.
actually doing stuff. No, but I mean, like,
Oh, I'm grinding
You
like
know what I
coffee beans. I'm not kidding.
I'm not talking about you. You have a career. You have a business. You have a
Yeah.
physical business. I'm talking about like the people that were stand-ups, and now all the clubs are shut down. Some
Yeah.
people just kind of
Yeah.
disappear,
Yeah.
and
That
some
makes
people actually
sense.
go to work and start putting stuff out. Some
Doing,
people doing
they're
better.
stand up in the back of a pickup truck in a parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy, and some people you can see where the
it's
work
not.
ethic comes in.
Yeah.
And that's their living. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like another thing to put in like perspective because that's how I had to see it. Like that's how they're paying for themselves to eat, shop,
Yeah.
the things like we desire to buy and stuff. That's like paying their way to do those things, and that's not easy.
No, not at all.
Those type of things.
You know, one of the other things that I've been really grateful for throughout this podcast is it connects you, like we said, with so many different people. And I've gotten to meet some really fucking cool, genuine people. You know, I mean, even like if we're just talking other content creators, other podcasters.
Yeah.
Like you guys know Mike Sweeney. Like
Yep.
he's come over here. He's helped me out. We've helped each other out. You know, shout out to Mike Sweeney. Keep
Yep.
the basement.
The Sweens.
I've seen Mike
Keep it
work
basement.
from literally nothing to at
Yeah.
least the
He
following
built
has
that
now.
from.
He's the big bro now. He's
Yeah.
been doing it longer than me. So
He's been
definitely knows.
doing it since college, and
Yeah.
he started on college radio, and he's been grinding and grinding, and that's another person.
and he's
like,
confident in himself.
I want to
Yeah.
see him succeed because he continues to go after it, and he's got a passion for it, and it's like I said to you, you guys have good delivery. Like when I listen to you guys, nothing feels forced.
Some
it feels
people are
very
not made
natural.
for a microphone.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
And you guys have like
Nah, you're good over
that
there.
delivery.
You got nothing to worry about. shout out to Mike because Mike's been killing it with the porn star interviews.
oh yeah, man.
He goes to like the
I can't be caught watching those things, but hey, when I do get a little free time,
I
alone,
feel like
I
most
check
women
them
are
out.
lying if they told you they don't know who those girls are. That's a lie. That's
They
a
probably
lie.
do.
but shout out to
No,
Mike.
you're in the bedroom. You're like, how'd you know? Where'd you learn this from?
Oh, I didn't know he knew Eva Lovia. What, babe? Nothing. But shout out to Mike. Shout out to Tom Zappi, and shout out to Alex Nicholas too. You know, I haven't seen Alex very much, but shout out to Tom. Tom was here.
Yeah, shout out
couple
to the
months
Keep
ago.
It Basement team.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to anyone that's been on this show
Well-
and shown love and support and
sure.
been available to just have a conversation because
Well,
that's
I-
what this is all about.
I actually got a couple shout outs I want to do. I want to get this out of the way now, if you guys don't
Do
mind.
it.
Since we're talking about other podcasters, I got to shout out the Three Ninjas podcast. You guys have probably seen me mention them
Yes.
a lot. Shout out to Domino, shout out to Hesh, and shout out to Bobby because those guys, they're all from Connecticut. You know, I was just a fan of theirs. They didn't have to talk to me or whatever. But
Yeah.
they're fucking cool guys.
Yeah.
They've all been on the show. I've been on their show. We talk all the time. Like they don't have to do that, but they're genuine people, and I really appreciate them for that. And they share my shit. They support the show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those are stand-up guys.
So not to take over and be like the questioners, but did you ever think of it like kind of go like full circle like that for you? Like
I didn't see it really happening. I mean, you always think, you meet somebody, you help each other out, but then when it really does happen, you're still surprised.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, they
Yeah.
really did it. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When you view somebody as like in whatever field you're in as a little bit above you, and they don't have to help you, like
Yes.
they don't get anything from helping you. It's nice to find the people that are just willing to help you
Those
with
are the good people.
nothing in return.
They're not willing to help them for nothing. Think about it this way.
I didn't pay them if that's what
no,
you're
no,
talking
no, no, no. I don't think you did any.
By the way, Dom, the check is in the mail, I
I
swear.
I don't think you did any pause favors. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if for them to do that, they had to have seen something. Because for me, I'm not just gonna like with me in music. If people ask me to do certain things,
Yeah,
I'm
you're not
gonna,
just going to do music with
I'm
anybody.
gonna work with
You
somebody
gotta-
that doesn't take it seriously. They obviously see your craft, they see your approach, how you're going about it. You know what? I'll put some time into that because that looks
I
like
guess
that might be
they
going
see
somewhere.
they see it going places.
I hope so. It started.
That's what I see.
You know, it actually started off. I had Deshaun on the show, and I found out about those guys through him because he used to share
okay.
one guy Bobby's memes all the time.
Yeah.
So I saw Bobby. Oh, Bobby's posting all this stuff about a
Deshaun, the meme
podcast.
king.
Yeah. So I'm like,
You
oh,
too. You be
who-
dropping those memes that be having me laughing out loud.
Now I started making my own. So
Oh,
you
really?
can see if it's got my watermark on
Yeah.
it, you know I made that shit.
Yeah.
But no, it was through him that I heard about them, and then he was on the show and we were talking, and then I tagged them, and I was like, I'm sure they're not listening, but shout out to Three Ninjas because I fuck with their show.
Did you see?
And then next thing you know, they're posting the shit on their
That's
story.
awesome.
Say, oh yeah, don't worry, we're listening.
That's hilarious. So speaking of memes, did you guys see or did you hear about? I wouldn't say see. Did you guys hear about the Conor McGregor fight?
I went to sleep last night.
All right,
No.
yeah. So he went to sleep.
Yeah,
right?
I heard he got.
I kind
So
of
hold on. Memes. Hold on. Memes the theme. I'm rhyming here. Listen, they got Conor McGregor asleep on the couch next to Nate Robinson.
Oh,
Wow.
I saw him. It was him asleep in the
The only
hospital
difference
bed.
is one fought a skilled fighter and the other one didn't.
No, but you get it
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Nate asked for that though. My man dove like a deer. Come on,
Yeah,
dog.
I saw
I'm
the
with
one.
George
It was
Foreman.
Connor.
Whoever
It was
trained him
Connor
for that
sleep
fight.
in the hospital
you.
bed with Bernie Sanders in the chair next to the bed. You know?
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
They played
the
over to
memes
that
look.
one.
The
fast.
internet's undefeated.
Did you hear he was walking out with a crutch, or not a crutch, but like one of those
No.
like crutches.
Who,
Connor?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. No, I'll
He
tell you.
was limping pretty bad.
Do you want to know why? I'll explain it.
Go ahead.
He got knocked the
dislocated
fuck
his knee or
out?
No, he
something.
took 50 calf kicks to the back of his calf.
Oh yeah, I heard he got kicked. That guy.
His calf got
he was
destroyed.
kicking
That's
the heck
why he
out
was
of him.
limping out. Because think about it, all that adrenaline is gone now, and now your calf is twisted in two because dude done had his way with
Then you
it.
stand up. Oh my god!
It's a bad contusion.
No,
That's
those
what-
kicks are
yeah.
pretty intense. You're right.
And
Yeah.
you're getting kicked. You're forgetting these dudes could kick a brick wall like we can't, and
Some
be
Jean-Claude
perfectly
Van
fine.
Damme shit.
I kicked
remember
something. My shin
the-
is snapping.
Hang on, before we go too far, let me finish my thank yous
My
real
bad.
quick. I want to shout out to Rashaun Allen from Jersey City. He's been a big supporter of the show. He bought stickers from me.
Shout out
by
to
the way,
Rashaun.
but the stickers still for sale, people. By the way, shout out to Mike Emanuel. He's been on the show. My friend from work. He lives down the way. He's not too far. Shout out to Tim Ruiz. I work with him. He's been on the show. Huge supporter. Shout out to Artie Dell from North Bergen. He was a former police officer. He's a comedian now. He came on the show. Fucking cool dude. And he supports as well. Shout out to Artie.
Thank you for your service, Artie.
Yeah, buddy. Shout out to Lee Holland from the UK. He likes all my stuff on Instagram, and
That's awesome.
he's always the first one to like the shit.
I love
so
it.
I was like,
That's
all right,
awesome.
That's
You
so
got
cool.
the
Gotta shout him out.
UK in the house.
gotta shout him out. Shout out to Joel Alba, aka Dominican Khaled. He's I know him. I know Marcy Cherry, Black Shark from Canada, fucking badass boxer. Yeah, he's legit. Those two guys, they know me from the Three Ninjas, and
That's awesome.
they always show love.
That's
They
what's
always
up.
support. So I got to shout out to them.
I shout boxers out all day, man.
yeah,
I ain't trying to get knocked out.
Again, shout out to everybody that's been a guest on the show. I'm sorry if I'm not naming you by name. I apologize. I get it. It sucks when you're expecting to hear your name and you don't. So
It's
obviously,
hard to do these things
I
when
know.
you're on the spot.
AJ's been on a couple times. Don't forget AJ.
shout out to AJ. AJ was almost here tonight, but he's got a toddler at home. And
Yeah.
he's
No
playing it
worries.
safe.
Yeah.
Like, life's gotten real in the
I
last
know.
few years, and Rashawn might be having a little infantry toddler crawling around soon
Hey,
too.
I
You
got
don't
one
want to
coming
think
in
about
June.
that, but it could be
Yeah,
happening.
man.
Yeah.
Got one coming in June.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
right behind you. I might be 12 months.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
we'll see.
I give him a year after he gets, or probably 6 months after.
Don't do that.
Don't say nothing now. Don't get yourself in trouble. Okay?
Yeah.
my knee pit. No,
I wanna especially thank the three of you
I'm
guys.
Chappelle
Oh,
the
yeah,
meme
no
holding
problem.
the money with the crown. That's me. I'm that guy.
I wanna thank you three because you guys have always been there to help out, to support.
Hey man,
You
I'm
know?
here forever. I'm permanently on call, like Drew
It's
said.
my job.
You guys are VIP. You guys are 5-star club here.
Oh,
so
you're 5
appreciate
star,
it,
Shout out
man.
to
You're 5
you.
star in my
Cheers to
life,
that.
brother. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Really?
I got him this time.
I'm still not getting up.
Well, let me get that tequila.
Absolutely.
I got one more. Last one.
Let's
one.
go.
And I can't
talk forever.
ever forget about this one. Got to shout out my wife, Betty
Oh,
B.
absolutely.
Listen,
Shout out Betty.
if it was not for her, I would not be doing this still.
And congrats on her pregnancy.
Congrats.
Yeah,
yes.
congratulations.
Let it be.
Baby B's coming. He's on his way.
He's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy.
I'm
My
excited.
man.
But I gotta shout out her
man.
because there's been multiple times when I was literally ready to just hang it up. Fuck this. The fucking hard drive crashed. I lost all my shit. I don't want to do it anymore.
That'll do it.
And she said, "You know what, babe? You're gonna hate yourself if you don't do it. Like if you really like this, you're good at it. Just keep doing it. Like,
I agree with her.
She's 100%
take a deep breath.
right.
Take a deep breath.
And you
back
know
on
what
the
I
horse.
realized though?
She didn't say it like that. It was a slight accent. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Everything starts from 5 views to 10 views to 200 to 100,000.
That was a big jump.
No, I'm serious though.
You were like,
If you want to do it
five-
accurate,
it might-
5 views to 10 views to 11 views to 6 views.
I think the point I'm trying to make here is it'll climb. Like
Yeah.
they always do. And when people eventually catch on to your stuff, I've seen it in the comments, even with guys who put great content out and it looks like movie theater quality stuff that have 10,000 followers, and people are like, how? It's out there, and as long as people are putting it out there, someone's gonna find it, and it's gonna grow.
Like when we did the boat video for the YouTube channel, my whole thing was like, you see people doing tutorials, and that was like the whole goal with that, because it's like it wasn't quite like a tutorial; it was more like a storyline. Hey, this is what I did, but that stuff gets views, man. Like just all that stuff. Even the podcast, man. People, there's some man out there who wants to talk about fatherhood and just like all these things that they're going through in life and the
they're
changes they're going through in life.
And they're listening to you, and you're their blueprint, or not even that. They might not want to do that. They might want to just, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this guy, and
and live vicariously through him.
Not even that. It's just great content for them to get advice and just listen to life. Listen to life problems, advice, whatever comes in.
So here's my approach, and I'm gonna steal this from Drew. Excuse me, because Drew is the one who originally came up with this description. If you've ever watched the show Scrubs,
Yes.
I want the podcast to be like an episode of the show Scrubs, and I mean that in the way that Scrubs is a comedy show mainly. First and foremost, it's a comedy. You have fun, it's
Gotta
silly,
laugh.
you joke around, but every episode there's a real serious through line there. There's something really going on where it's kind of cloaked in humor, but there's a real deep message. And I wanted the show to be like that, where it's relatable. It's easy to come into if you're just the first time listener, you know? If you're just some guy out there with, you know, a wife and a kid and you're just kind of going through the motions and you kind of lost who you are. You hear this and it's like, these guys, you know, they sound like my old friends. You know what I mean? Like they have kids too. It's just like me. And then we talk about the real shit. We talk about what it's like to have a kid, what it's like to be scared for how you're raising them. We're afraid we're going to fuck up our kids. We're afraid we're going to do something and our wife's going to think less of us. You know what I mean? This is stuff that we go
She
through
is.
every day. Yeah, she
Or
probably
you
will,
could say,
but, you know.
hey, married guys do hang out with a single guy.
Yeah. But that's the that's the thing. I want it to be real. I want there to have a real heart to it. You know,
I agree.
and I always describe it this way. It's like when you got to give your dog medicine, you take the pill and you wrap it in like cheese or peanut butter or something, and you slip it to them. And I think, oh, it's a treat.
Hide it in a
But
piece
really,
of cheese.
yeah.
You're like, he got me. It's down my throat. It's too late. Like,
It's like, oh god damn it! I'm not toxic anymore because I listen to this show. No, but that's what I wanted it to be, and that's still first and foremost what I want to do. I want to, if there's just one guy out there who's kind of feeling a little lost, doesn't know, you know, feels like shit's weird in his life, if he can listen to this show and come out of it feeling a little better, it's like, you know what, maybe it's not that bad. This is normal. This is what everybody goes through, and he could kind of learn from our mistakes when we talk about shit that we did that was fucked up.
Yeah.
If that's all it is, if this one guy gets a benefit out of it, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, I'm not making money off this. Like, it ain't that big yet. I'm sorry, you know. But, you know, for me, this is therapeutic. I get to talk my shit out.
right.
And also, at the end of the day, now I have Tyler. He's my son. He's 10. But now I have another kid. Like, I want them to know who I was as a man, as a person. And they could listen back on the show. I mean, I don't know if that, you know, it's a tall order listening to 100+ hours of this shit.
Hey man, you never know what they'll do when they're adults.
But that's the thing. I want
And before
to
this
leave something
pandemic, people
behind.
were
for
actually
them.
driving places. So, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah,
Like,
we have
you
a couple
actually
long
could.
trips coming up.
No, I'm serious. People could do that.
Yeah, but that's all it is.
I did that with podcasts. I drive.
What do you? Let me ask you.
Tyler's gonna have some road trips, and he's gonna throw one of these on. You'd be surprised.
My
Watch.
favorite one that I like listening
My dad
to.
talked a lot of shit about me. That's what he's gonna say.
I like listening to a lot of stories that I never of people I looked up to, especially in hip hop. So for me, it was the Drink Champs.
Okay.
I like Noriega's podcast, and I like it because a lot of the people you get to hear stories that used to wonder about things and be like, how did that play out? And then those guys would just sit there and explain it. So
I just feel it. I agree with him on that one. That was one of the other ones that kind of got me into, like, wow, podcasts are funny as hell. Like,
No,
they're
they're
like,
cool.
especially when these guys start telling stories that you never
I
heard
love the
before.
stories.
It's like, oh, hold on, he's got this. That's how that happened. Oh, it's like one of those historic like things, and like I can't even remember the exact story. He showed me something though with the Drink Champs. And
I'll
it was
show
a
you stories with Dean Dash.
No,
having a
no,
falling
there
out.
was someone telling a specific story. I can't think of the
over
artist or the producer or the whoever it was, but someone was telling a specific story, and it was hilarious because
Can I shout out again this
Bamboo.
rum? This shit is fucking phenomenal.
If I drunk dark again, I would.
I'm gonna have to try some. I
You-
started with clear,
listen.
but you're making me want to try some.
And I'm drinking. I have the rum, and I have now. This is called
I'm not
Iron Beer.
remixing, though.
This is a Hispanic soda. Now, if you're Cuban, you don't call it Iron Beer. You call it Iron Beer. Okay, that's how you pronounce it.
Have you ever had
Take a picture
Malta?
of some bamboo.
Yes, yes.
Awful.
It's an acquired taste.
It really is.
But you know, I literally just grabbed the shit. I wasn't even gonna drink rum, and I saw it. I was like, you know what? This looks cool. Let's give it a shot. And the fucking shit is incredible.
Yo,
You should
How
get them to
often-
send you some.
How often do you guys buy liquor because the bottle looks cool?
oh,
I did that when I was younger. Now,
Okay.
no, now because of what I know about certain things, I care more about like prestige and the history of it as opposed to like
Take a sip.
the pop plastic
not?
bottle, like you know what I'm saying, like
Okay,
back in the
yeah.
day. So for me,
Oh wow.
don't get me wrong, the
Crazy,
bottles will
right?
always
That's
look
trouble.
cool to me, and you always be curious
That's
to buy
trouble.
them. But
Good
I
thing we
think
did this
I
at
want to
5.
know the
Oh
history of
yeah,
that
that's
bottle
definitely
before I buy
trouble.
it.
Okay. See, I'm not a connoisseur, so like I don't really have anything that like I drink bourbon now, and I'm still fairly new to it. But I don't have anything that like draws me to different types of bourbon, except
I feel like if you tried a really good one, you might change your.
oh, I have a few really good ones,
Like
but
some
like I
expensive ones.
still like to kind of mix it up and try different things, different flavors, you know, and whatnot.
Is bourbon your go-to?
Now, yes.
What is like secondary and like third? So for me, it's like tequila, vodka. Then I'll go to a dark or
bourbon,
wine.
vodka, gin.
Gin.
Yeah,
When did that start?
a year and a half. You haven't been around a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Guilty as charged.
Daddy,
Stuck in the garage.
Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This has really been the only thing I've done besides work and family.
Yeah.
The only thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the last time I went out was like, I mean, do you count Christmas? Like, that's not going
No.
out. That's
No, you
yeah.
don't. And where'd you go?
We went to Charlene's house.
Oh, okay.
Charlene, a girl
Charlene.
named Charlene.
That's my wife's best friend. Shout out to Charlene and
Shout
Sergio.
out to Charlene.
They live a little up 287.
Love
Okay.
it.
They moved up here from Miami. I got my wife came up here. My wife
the
and
crew came
Tyler.
up.
Her parents came up here. Her cousin and her 2 sons came up here.
That's
her best
awesome.
friend and husband and their kid came up here. So who
Everyone's
the fuck's
coming.
next?
Let me ask though.
It sounds like it's going in the right direction.
Why?
Are they?
And I only slept with one of them.
Where's she? Wait, where's she
I hope
from
her parents
originally?
don't listen.
Who?
Your wife.
My wife?
Miami.
Cuba. And then
Cuba.
Miami.
Yeah.
But they've always been in Florida, so they're like
Yeah.
Florida natives technically, if not Cuba. Cuba's like their first home. Florida's
Yes.
a second home, so to speak. So
I'd want to
being-
leave Florida too.
I want to go to Florida.
Florida's crazy.
They're out of the club right now. I just saw the
I get
videos
it.
last night.
But let me ask you something. For some people who've lived in Florida,
Yeah, make sure
the
you're in the
weather's, and I understand that the weather
You
sometimes
could,
could be
you could
like.
move this around so you're a little comfortable. So you don't
I
have to
feel
lean
like the
forward.
weather could be swampy sometimes because I've heard that people who live in Florida, like you don't want to be here in the summer.
love the heat.
I
It's
get it.
rough. It's rough.
I don't mind hot weather. I'm sure they're like immune to it. But how do they feel coming from Florida up to here? Have they explained that to you? Especially with
So-
that many people being up here now.
All right.
Because I
let
want to
me-
know.
Let me break it down. So now my
It made me
wife,
cold just thinking of that.
my wife and her mom, my wife and her mom hate the cold. Okay, it is what it is. You can't-
I ain't mad
So
at
do
that
I.
because
her,
I do too.
Her
I'm
dad,
like, I
listen,
do too.
her dad loves it.
Wow,
Loves
okay.
it. He's not like any Cuban you've ever met in your life before. Now her cousin who lives
He was on
Albert, I
that
have
boat in that
questions.
water. That's why I'm joking.
no, yeah. But her cousin used to live in Syracuse, so this ain't nothing.
Oh,
This-
come on. Yeah, there's
know.
snowstorms
yeah,
galore up there.
she's fine.
Buffalo
and then her
weather.
best friend used to live in Boston, so she's experienced it. And her husband's an FBI agent, and he's he's tough, so you're not gonna do nothing to him. But they're all
Sounds
right.
like they're acclimating pretty good.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Hey,
for anyone
just
to, for
being
anyone
tough.
to tell me they come from Cuba and like
bad.
cold weather, man, I have to tilt my whole hat because that to me,
I shout out to my
Ow.
father-in-law because he's not like anybody I've ever met.
he's built different. I'm
Super
like,
smart guy. One of the most one of the most book smart people I've ever met in my life.
That's awesome.
And he's like, I think he really wants to be a cowboy.
That is
You
not
watch a
the
lot of
word I
Westerns?
expected
You
to
know
come
what's
out of
that?
your mouth.
You watch a lot of
a
westerns?
lot of
Watch
my
a lot of
uncles watch
westerns. He does like every like like our generation, our dads, they all watch like terrible
They
movies.
all watch
Oh, my
westerns.
uncle and my
He's
grandfather
in-
used to watch those. I
He's in
hated
there
that.
watching like the shitty Steven Seagal movies, not the old ones, the new ones.
Oh,
Like,
God.
the ones he made in like Russia.
Oh,
Like he's in there
Straight to
watching those.
DVD.
Oh, where he telegraphs the punches now.
He's not even punching. It's just, and he goes like this. The guy flips and like breaks through a wall. It's
And
like,
they
come
look
on.
effortless.
Come
It's
on.
like-
I bet you know what I mean. He does like whatever your dad does.
uh-huh.
So
Oh no, my dad has a new thing, and I'm totally blowing up his spot now.
I don't think he's listening.
Yeah, I sincerely doubt that. But
I was gonna say,
you know what? I hope Jeff
never
makes
know.
him listen just to this part.
Okay.
So my
Let him
my
have
dad my dad is very typical conservative Republican, everything like that. But his new thing over the last couple of years, every time we go over for Thanksgiving or Christmas, this man always has a goddamn Hallmark movie on. or like Hallmark Lifetime channel, like
Oh no.
yo, always like all
How
the
could he be
Hallmark.
Somebody
so
got him
soft?
hooked.
I'm like,
Somebody
no.
got him hooked.
I don't know what happened.
Wait,
I don't know what happened.
Is he got a woman who watches that stuff? 'Cause
No, Sue doesn't watch. She's
Wow.
like upstairs, or he's just watching
Wow.
Hallmark movies.
No, that's why I'm blown away. That's like a woman thing. I'm like, he's got he's got a soft side.
All right, so let's put this out there. I'm going to change gears based off what you just said.
Okay.
Hallmark.
Let's just say that that's his guilty pleasure.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, but you're right.
Not at all.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Susan was gonna make it.
Okay, but that's his guilty pleasure. And now, like our parents are getting older. He's probably at the point now. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
No.
He's got nothing to prove to anybody. What is it about us that we're so afraid to, like, if we like something silly, something that could be considered gay, you know what I mean? Like, why are we so afraid to let that go?
I
Like,
truly don't know.
It's
because
2021.
I don't really
Like,
care what
I don't
people
have
think.
guilty pleasures.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't really care what people think if it's gay or not.
But we still say pause. You know what I mean?
No, I said pause
stopped,
in regards
actually.
to what you said. I responded.
I don't care if they think I'm sucking somebody's dick. Whatever. I'm not. No. If you want to think that,
that was the
whatever.
point. That
I don't
was
give
the
a
point.
Frenchman.
Hilarious.
I don't give a Frenchman's fuck.
I feel
okay?
like I highlighted it when I said that.
I know. I'm busting your balls.
I was like, I
No,
was
but I'm
busting
like
your
you,
balls.
man.
I
I
was-
don't give a shit, man. If you took it your way, you took it your way. I know what the fuck way I said it.
I have nothing against anybody that lives different from me. It's none of my business.
Just
It's
don't
not.
get any on me.
we talked about this on one of the previous podcasts. You had a podcast strictly about guilty pleasures. And I think I was the worst guest for that podcast because I was like, I
Don't feel guilty.
don't feel guilty about any of this. Like I listened to
I need that.
and one of the things that I brought up was the like, you know, there's the toxic masculinity sort of thing of like, oh, you listen to this, what are you, gay? It's like, first of all, no.
You know
Second
how I
of
know
all,
you're gay?
what if I was?
You know how I know you're
Yeah.
gay? You listen to Coldplay.
I listen to Coldplay. I know some shit by heart.
That's
Yeah.
from 40-Year-Old
From
Virgin.
40-year-old virgin.
And
Hey, and I gladly listen to Coldplay.
I do like the first two albums
Yeah,
of Coldplay.
yeah, I like
I love
it.
I like
Coldplay.
Coldplay. I like Incubus. I try to actually listen to a lot of bands I've never heard of before. There's another one called Clefbang or something like that. I have it on my phone. I don't
I don't
even
know
know
what
if
he
I'm
just
pronouncing.
said.
I don't know. I
No,
think you should have
it's-
just avoided
no,
saying it.
It's got a weird name. All I know is I got it on
So
my
you're
phone.
into German music, huh?
No, they're not a German band though. They're American.
That sounded German, what you just said.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
why I said,
Bang!
but the way they pronounce it, I'm probably saying it wrong and butchering it, but I'm saying they're different bands I'm just trying to listen to, and they're like awesome.
Do they make you? Does anyone call you gay when you listen to their music?
I don't really care what anyone thinks, and that's what I was
There you
telling
go.
y'all before.
I got
There we
this
go.
thing like at work. You know, I work in construction still, so
I know who I am and what I like, and what you're trying to portray on me just because of something music wise or whatever I'm saying. I don't really care. I don't care.
I wasn't portraying anything.
30-year-old man.
I still gotta be careful because at work, you know, I still work around a lot of those stereotypical
Yeah.
construction guys.
Yeah.
Where if I get control of the radio for the day, then, you know, I have to, you know, very carefully curate what songs are gonna come on, because it's not that I'm afraid that people are gonna hear what I like. It's I don't feel like dealing with them. I don't feel like having to tell somebody to go fuck yourself because they
Yeah.
made some stupid comment, and now I have to get aggressive with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Right.
that
I'll
I
take the
understand the
smoke.
situation.
But I say,
I'll take
I
the
know,
smoke
I
for
know
that.
that if it comes to that, like, okay, we're gonna have to argue
All day.
Well,
I listen
but
to the
here's
weirdest shit. So
I just want people to leave me alone.
Yeah, I
Here's
feel
the
you.
thing. I completely understand that situation because, like, I'm okay with telling one or two people, like, you know what, fuck you if you have a problem with me. But when you have to tell 37 of them,
Yeah, no, I get
it's
that.
like, all right, this is a bit
You need
much.
some of your friends with you. Hey,
Yeah.
all right, yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah. You know what? We all like the Spice Girls, so what the fuck is up, man?
Yeah.
dude, coming from
I saw you tapping your foot.
Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Say you'll be there. That's right.
Coming from a music production standpoint, I have to listen to everything. So if someone thinks I'm gay because I'm listening to something, like, okay, like I don't
just
care
don't- I just
because
don't-
I feel like music to me is like just way too many
So
different.
do you guys obviously South Park's like not a mystery, right? We know South Park, right?
We know that's a thing.
So there was an episode. I'm not gonna say this because I'm not trying to lose my job. There's the F word. That
Maggot.
means gay.
Maggot.
Yeah. So the episode basically was about them using the word, but they weren't using it for those people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the
It
word
was like
does have other meanings.
Like they felt like, and even like people in the LGBT community, they agreed. They were like, well, we use this term for people too in the show, in the context of the show. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what we think is like PC offensive, they don't always look at it like that, that way. Especially if you have respect for people just in general. You're not trying to like
absolutely
put people in a different light or like just make them feel like what they shouldn't be feeling like. Because for me, I'm not going to make any human being feel like they don't want to feel.
Well, that's a funny thing because that affects a lot of different things. Like there's always those people like the white people that are kind of like very afraid to touch any subject that's slightly racial. Like I have a friend, he's black. I was like, that's not a bad word.
Guess what? My godmother,
she's white.
I saw a post.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
didn't mean to say
But
that.
you know what I mean.
That's
Like,
so
and it's
stupid,
not.
though.
It's not that they're like bad people. They're not like they mean ill from it. But it's like, okay,
But
clearly
it's almost
you
like
don't
they
know
said,
anybody.
that's
from
why I
that.
said they said it's almost like they said it because they didn't have any inclusion to that.
Exactly.
That's like why
you're
I'm
so
like,
used to living in a world where those people are not.
Yeah. So like with things like that, I feel like, and be easy on me. I'm a straight white male. Like
But
I
you
really
could always-
have
no, you
I
could
have
say that,
no
but-
business saying shit
But
about
you
anything.
could always say you grew up down the street from the Gasaway twins, which is an absolute fact because we've known you damn near our whole lives since we've
true.
been
Pretty
in the
much
neighborhood.
30
So-
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
as-
seriously.
So as
Like-
corny as you could be, I'm just saying though, like it's a different.
Yeah,
thing
I
for
should
you
I should
because
probably
you're
throw
a
this
lot
out
more-
there. These
you have
guys
a-
grew up like a football field away from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually played football on the same field, like
Literally.
in our condo development.
So I feel like for you to say that is a little bit different because you grew up with diversity in your life,
But-
in a different way.
What I was getting at is a lot of times it's the connotation behind the word, like the way South Park did it. I didn't see the episode, but the way you're explaining it is that they weren't meaning it offensively. They were
Yeah.
It was bikers on Harleys, and they were calling them that word, and they felt like those guys were more of that word than.
Yeah,
gay
make sure you're
people
talking to
were.
the mic,
Okay.
bro.
I'm sorry. They felt like they were more of that word than gay people were.
Okay. But like I feel like a lot of times it's, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because again, no reason to really know what I'm talking about here, but like it's the connotation behind the words and like how do you really, what do you mean by this word? Like we've just used the word gay countless times within the last 10 minutes, but not
It means
in a,
other things too.
not
Yeah.
in a negative connotation.
Oh, yeah, no.
yeah, no,
Like-
that's true.
Somebody is gay. That's not a negative thing.
No,
like,
somebody
to
could be
me.
happy.
yeah.
That's what the original word is.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
a lot of people
Let's be
took
honest,
it.
we're not using it that way no more.
No, not at all.
But I mean somebody who actually is gay in the LGBT, like to say somebody is gay isn't a negative connotation, but then if you have somebody God, in a MAGA hat, like you're gay, that's a negative connotation.
Because it's so everything is within context.
It's context.
Yeah,
Yeah, where
I
it's
get
coming
that.
from.
Yes.
I feel like you could be a friend saying that to someone down the hall, though. And that's like the same thing, though. So
Yeah.
the MAGA. I just don't want to make it political.
Yes.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah, I
I
know.
got you.
But,
I
but
just,
I was
that's
just
just me,
using
though.
that as an example.
I'm just saying, I get the
Yeah.
example, but I'm like, I don't want people to think that is like what it had to be.
Yeah.
It could
But-
be that guy calling you down the hall, be like, "Hey, you're
Yeah.
gay."
But like we have a friend that
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine people in college like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like,
we
Hey
we
man,
have a-
hey man, you want some spam? Nah, fucking gay, bro.
yeah, like we have a friend who is gay that
He's legitimately
constantly-
gay.
Yeah, is
Shout out to
legitimately-
John
yeah.
L. What's
John
up,
L.
buddy?
And
We're watching you.
He
Got my eye on you.
made more gay jokes out at bars with us than any of us.
Yeah.
He kind of leaned into it and made it fun because he knew that we didn't have a problem with the fact that he was gay.
Yeah.
So it's all
shouldn't be a
about the
problem.
context behind
Of course.
how you mean the word.
Of
You know what's
course.
funny? Some people, like, if you're a straight guy and you have friends or a friend that is gay, some people will look at you like, you have a gay friend? And look at you like, oh. And they look at you different now.
They look at you like, wait, are you a little? It's
Yeah.
like, no.
well,
no,
because-
I have family that's gay
No,
too.
but here's-
so-
Because I can have a drink with this person and
But hear
They're
me out.
not a fucking
Hear me out. Hear me
douchebag,
out.
you know?
In some cultures, still to this day, like straight people don't associate with gay people. Like unless
well,
if you're
fuck those cultures.
if you're a woman,
fuck them.
if you're a woman, that's fine. You can have a gay man as a friend. But if you're a straight guy and you have gay men as a friend, like,
You know
you're
what
probably
that says?
gay
You know what
yourself.
that tells
That's
me?
what some people think.
You know what that tells me? asshole's insecure as fuck.
I was about to say there's something
That's what
going
it
on with
does.
that person.
And then-
Well, listen,
I have
a lot
questions.
of Caribbean cultures, whether you're Hispanic, whether you could be
That's a
Cuban,
fact.
Puerto Rican, Dominican, you could be Haitian,
That's a
Jamaican.
fact.
They don't fuck with gay people.
Hey, man,
They don't at all.
that's their prerogative. And hey,
And still to this day. So
Yeah, I don't like that prerogative. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying.
like,
I don't.
Wake the
That's
fuck
their
up.
prerogative. You can be who you want to be, but hey, man, fuck you. It's not gonna stop me from.
Yeah.
So
from
the first
being
job
me.
I ever had, kid you not, I think he can vouch for it. My
Oh, yeah.
first manager, the first gay dude I ever met in my life. He
and
was
he was
gay.
cool, dude.
Coolest dude I ever met in
Cool.
my life.
It
Never
made
tried
you-
to push up on me. Always had my back. Like, not kidding.
see, that's like-
I think it showed me different things.
It tells
other
you
than what
some
people-
shit is a myth. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying
for
about
sure.
like big time when you actually
It educates you.
Yeah,
Yes,
big time.
absolutely.
Because you meet somebody and you see all that shit is.
And
a
I
myth.
tell
That
my
shit is
mom-
all
and I
cliche,
tell
like,
my
oh,
Yeah,
mom-
one at a time, one at a time.
My bad.
No.
And I would tell my mom, and to the point where she would vouch for this guy. I did speak, but like,
Nah, I'm good.
It's like, nah, I'm done.
But no,
I got too heated.
Here's the thing though.
I
Like
didn't speak much in this. I'm like,
exactly what we're talking about. That's kind of one of the things I wanted to accomplish with the show. So if you go back, you look at all the shows, all the episodes I've done, it's a very diverse list of guests I've had on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And I take personal pride in that. Because here's the thing, when you listen to people that came up totally different than you, that come from a totally different part of the world than you, and you still find similarities and things you have in common, it's very enlightening. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like we could be so different on the surface, but
Yeah.
really at the end of the day, we do all the same shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And to me, that's where the value is. That's the good shit.
Yeah.
Like that's where you learn. Like that's where you see, like we're so focused on the surface. What's different? We look different. We have different skin color. Maybe we have a different religion. Maybe you suck dick
None
and
of
I
that
eat
matters.
pussy. Anything. But at the end of the day, we're all people.
that's why
Yeah.
I say none of it matters.
I look
Exactly.
at I
and
look
I
at
didn't mean to talk over you. If I did,
Yeah. I look at
Okay.
any sort of
fine, man.
any sort of bias like that
blame.
as just being uneducated, like just not having been around people who are different and knowing like, oh, they're normal fucking people. Like
Yeah.
just because this guy's gay doesn't mean like he wants to suck my dick. Like he might not find me attractive.
Maybe he does, but he's not acting
And
on
that's
it.
Yeah.
what I was saying by like, a lot
And
of
damn
shit's a
well he
myth.
should.
Yeah, I'm
Lot of
very
sh- lot
pretty.
of
Go
the
ahead,
shit-
go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the shit you hear is a myth. Like what you just said. Just because they're gay don't mean they want to fucking talk to you.
I was about to say that's what my manager would always tell me. He goes, "What you think you're the only good looking dude out here?" He goes, he goes, I'm
You
not
ain't my
thinking about.
type.
He would tell me, he's like, I ain't thinking about it. Exactly what you said. You ain't my type. I ain't
Yeah.
thinking about you. And I was like, cool.
I had
That made me feel better. I wanted to-
so I had a very
You all right over there?
ignorant moment.
no, I'm good.
All right.
No, I said that made me feel better in the sense like where he
Oh
told
no, I
me
seen
that.
you doing the whole like
Nah,
fly
cause-
with your hands.
Yeah.
No, it's real
I got
cold
a
over
T-shirt
here.
on, and you guys got.
I
Well, he
swear
took the-
I
he
tried
took
to.
the-
Gave you the pre.
Yeah, you stole the damn space heater though.
I did
It's all
steal
back
the
in the
heater.
corner.
Yeah, wasn't it like right?
No, it was right behind me. I like looked around. I was like, what
But
the
see,
hell
I
is
wanted
that
to
thing?
move it, and I almost burned myself. That's why I
But to
was
touch on the,
You got to be careful because that Laquan, that thing's got a broken wheel. So
No, that's why I said I wanted to move it, but I was like, I almost
The
burned
touch-
myself.
there's-
Remember, just remember the camera's over there, so they're looking at the back of your head.
All right. So to touch
I'm
on the
trying to
point
send
that
it
you
over
brought
there.
up, you
Go
brought
ahead.
up a point about somebody saying something, like a black person saying something, and then like I saw something like that, like on Twitter, somebody mentioned something about the inauguration recently, and how the inauguration had, some people of color in there, a beautiful poet who did a great job,
Yeah.
and
pay attention to that.
somebody who tweeted brought that whole instance up, and they were talking about how Joe Biden was pandering to the black people, the black vote, this and that, da, 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 this and that. You got all these black people there. Okay. So somebody comments back that, how is that any different? So this is a person that's been in the White House with the former president and everything, and somebody brought up a comment like, how is this any different than, what you were doing? And then somebody commented after that, happened to be a white person. And the white person said, I like this Terrence guy. He says all the things that white people can't say. And that's where like the record scratched. Because then people were like, hold on.
What do you mean the stuff?
Yeah,
white
what do
people
you
can't
mean
say?
by that? Like,
Yeah.
so like that's when
That
you
sounds
brought,
negative.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you brought that up, I wanted to bring that up because I was like, I actually saw something like that recently, and like people were actually like, hold on, like scratch the record, like.
But see, that doesn't hit my bones like it used to.
No, it didn't
No,
at all.
I'm
I'm just saying, like I saw an instance of it, like completely, like.
For me, I'd rather people be who they really are than to pretend. Just be who you are.
So let me give you guys an example. You remember, I guess last year when the whole Nick Cannon thing was going on?
yeah.
Like,
Kind
he-
of shot himself in the foot, though.
Yep.
I felt like big time. And
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
me as a white guy who, on a regular basis talks to people who don't look like me.
Yeah.
I definitely I felt a way about it. It's like you literally
should.
Say, say that we were savages. Like,
I'm not.
isn't that the shit that the shitty evil white people were saying about black people?
Exactly.
So why is it right? It was wrong then. Why is it okay now? You know what I mean? And I felt like, of course, if I said that, I would be fucking
Of course.
persona non grata. I'd be public enemy number
Oh,
one.
you'd be hung out.
Exactly. But
Yep.
here's the thing. I also at the same time recognize, like, okay, well, white people in this country have not gone through the same stuff that black people
I was
in this
about to
country
say,
has.
in a sense, where
So-
he's coming from, I think his words, what he was saying was just inappropriate in a sense of what he was saying and who he was blaming it on.
Yeah, I think.
I think what actually he was trying to say is the disenfranchisement of it all is very real.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The wealth distribution is off.
No, listen,
I think-
there's no question.
But what he said is it can't be. I can't defend it because I'll never put a religion or a race that I'm not doing research on in any regard in a negative light, and to speak on you and say that this is where you led me. I would never say that.
Well, my whole thing was that, like, listen, there are 100% people like that. Like, there's bad white people out there. Just like any race, any creed, whatever. Like, there's bad people in every group.
Of course.
So I I'm not arguing that.
No.
That's it's not debatable.
I just
but my
felt
problem
like-
is when you lump a group together.
That's
where
what I felt.
That's where I have a problem.
That's
I don't like
literally
generalizing
what racism
people.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like generalizing.
And again,
people.
I gotta shout him out again. Shout out to Dom, like from Three Ninjas, when one of their episodes they just did, they were talking about the Capitol insurrection, and they're saying, "Yo, I don't know about some of you white people. I mean, Steve's cool, but I don't know about the rest of you." I don't, and I'm almost a little embarrassed to admit it, but that really made me feel good.
But
because-
you're not one of the only Steves they're talking about.
No. That was me.
Steve,
That was me. That was
He's
me.
like, don't take this away from me.
When it comes to that show, I'm the only Steve. All right.
He goes, no.
They know me as a human white man. That's my nickname.
That's hilarious.
But no, but seriously though, my point is that if we start focusing so much on the things that divide us,
I hate that.
it's going to lead to friction. The point is, you don't want to be one of these people that says, "Oh, I don't see color." It's like, well, that's bullshit. Of course you do. The point is, you see color, but it doesn't make a difference. You appreciate different people from different cultures for what they are. You love the diversity. You embrace it. You embrace.
Yeah.
I have friends that are West Indian. I love the food. I love the culture. That's not me, but I embrace it. I love it. I don't think they're less than me. I don't think I'm less than them. I think we're all human beings. I have friends that are Asian. I have Korean friends. Shout out to Retro. I'm watching you, bro.
As a general rule, I think I'm less than everybody.
No, you're not.
But no, my point being
know
is
I'm
that
fucking great.
it's not about not seeing color. It's not about not seeing the differences. It's about not letting that make you think less
Absolutely.
than. We're all on the same playing
Yeah.
field.
And if
That's
people
at the
only
end of
had,
the
if
day.
there was only one culture on this world, life would suck. Food would be boring.
Boring as shit.
You
no
gotta be fucking
seasoning on
kidding
the
me if you
chicken,
think
there'd
you
be
can
would
live
be
with
eating
one
chicken-
culture and be
If there
cool
was
with
one
that.
culture, you'd be eating chicken with salt and pepper.
No.
Every day.
Hang on. 85. Who was it?
Am I lying?
I think it was the 85
y'all.
South show. They were talking about
This
the
is a
Capitol
fact.
insurrection. They were saying some of those white
Be
people showed up.
happy is diversity because you be eating salt and pepper chicken and fish and everything else on this planet.
Yeah, with
Hang
no
on,
flair.
Laquan. I think it was 85 South show. I think it was Carlos Miller that was saying this. That when the Capitol insurrection, some of the people showed up with chicken. So when they went to pepper spray them, they were holding up the chicken. Yo, season that shit.
I'm crying.
Yo,
Throw
I
that
think-
shit on the smoker right after.
I think if you, as a general rule, if you have a problem with any sort of immigration or different cultures than you should not be allowed to eat that food's culture's
absolutely.
food.
I 100%
I like that.
agree with
Like,
that.
By the way,
that should be a
Mexican
law.
Food sales went way up
What's
during
that?
the Trump presidency.
What's that?
I saw a lot of people eat
said
at Mexican
Mexican foods.
restaurants during the Trump presidency that were Republican.
I saw a guy in
Everybody likes
Carnitas
tacos.
Taco Factory with a MAGA hat. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yo, this is it's hilarious, but we could make this up. Like, this is a fact.
What?
I've
That's
seen
hilarious.
it. I saw what he saw at a Chipotle.
Motherfucker, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Did you
want
jump
a
the wall? What happened?
Like I
You
walked
guys
in,
have figured it out over here
it
good
I
stopped
enough.
me
looked at
at
him
the
like, do you
front
know you're
door.
vulnerable? I'm like,
It stopped me at the front door because he was eating alone. He was facing towards the front door, and I walked in, and the bright red just like caught my attention, and I was like, "That's not no. I don't have my glasses on.
That's
I
like
can't
seeing
be-"
a MAGA sticker
Yeah.
in a
Honestly,
Honda Accord.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. That's not right.
Is that not, you just
And I was like, that is-
this is such a joke.
Oh,
Because I'm looking at it like, if they're eating, like, think about it. Damn, this food tastes good as hell. Fuck these Mexicans, man. This shit good, though. Like, that don't make sense to me.
so all right. Let's
Let's change it.
change it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's
go
get
back-
a little happier.
though.
Let's go back. Let's go
This
back
is
to
good.
2020. Okay.
You should put a timestamp if you want to skip all the political stuff. Like,
I don't want to skip any of it. I made a point that we're not skipping that shit
100's
anymore.
raw.
We're not skipping that shit anymore.
We're like Eddie Murphy. We're raw right now.
yeah.
I mean, part of you being on
that
here
was
is us
he was
be-
raw because of the purple leather suit. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
that thing shapes. That
Yeah.
was.
it.
Now I know what
Be
Eddie meant
real
when
in
he said
here.
raw. But all right, what I wanted to say is, we were talking about shit that that affected us: music, movies, stuff like that. 2020. I never did like a little year-in wrap-up, and I think this is a perfect time to do it.
Let's do it.
So, out of the whole year of 2020, when it comes to movies, TV, music, what kind of stuff in media had an impact on you guys? Was there an album that came out that you really liked? Was there a movie you saw that meant something to you? What was it? Was it a TV show that you couldn't get enough of?
I think that's rough to say because the
It's
entertainment.
not rough to say.
No, the entertainment industry.
not
took
rough to say,
Such
Drew.
a huge hit. Not
think-
a lot came out.
Everyone found out Kevin Hart's not funny.
Listen,
I think Kevin Hart's hysterical.
Kevin Hart's funny, but
Did you see
his
the
new
recent
stuff-
one?
Yes,
It's not.
and I
It's
liked
not.
it. I like his delivery.
I know
on
some
things.
people who didn't even crack a smile.
I laughed a couple times.
Would you
I
laugh-
I
would-
like his delivery. He as a person is funny to me.
He's an animated
He doesn't
person.
have
I
to
get-
say something funny, but just the way
I get
he
what you're
says
saying.
it can be.
Excuse me, I burped everyone.
That's all right.
It's all right.
I
just
burped
burp-
into the mic like 15 times.
I didn't like the newest stand up. Honestly, I didn't really like
It was
any
trash.
of them. Any of them
Sorry,
after
Kevin
Laugh
Hart.
at
I
My
like
Pain.
you, but you're trash. That was
I
trash.
honestly I like the newest one because he was like, you know what? I'm gonna invite a small crowd to my house where I'm comfortable in this situation. Everybody had masks on except for him and everything. I like that he made an effort to still
I
do
like the
something like
effort.
that.
I didn't like the content.
Swallow
Yeah,
and then try.
I didn't either.
Was it funnier than Chappelle's stand-up comedy after George Floyd's death?
No.
Well, hang on. What Chappelle did after George Floyd, that was not really.
That was
comedy.
historical, actually.
That was like just spoken word. That was him talking.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a lot of comedy.
Yeah,
in
that wasn't meant to be funny. I don't
Yeah,
think.
But people still laughed, and not in the sense where they laughed at what happened to George Floyd. I think we're in a time you feel like people keep getting kicked in the nuts. How many times do you have to film somebody getting choked out by a cop, this and that? And I don't think that's preclusive to any race. That's the culture of cops. Knee in the back of the neck. Oh, let's escalate the situation, because that's usually what happens. I've seen situations where they've been calm and they go from zero to this and that when everything was explained before that, and they want to make judgments before everything was even, and then they want to investigate. So I think for that particular stand-up series, that was necessary, where you have to laugh because it hurts so fucking bad, bro.
Well,
Think about that for a
that one
minute.
caught fire as soon as he released it because it was just like.
But
something he
that's
did
why, though, it
on the
hurts
spot.
so bad. What's good for your soul? Laughing.
You know,
As hard as that is to do when somebody goes through something like that, like dying that way
yeah.
on film, begging for his life.
Well, I think that was a turning point for a lot of people, especially last year. A lot of people saw that, and it's like you can't.
it showed me true colors too.
Yeah.
A lot of people still looked at that and they were like, "Well, what did he
What did he do?
What did he
Yeah.
do?
Who
Did
cares?
He didn't comply with the law.
He said he couldn't breathe. Take your knee off his neck.
You know,
Nobody goes to jail.
You know who had a really, really good take on all that? Andrew Schultz. Did you watch his news?
I did,
he's got good
actually.
stuff.
Not familiar with
I
him.
did.
What's that?
Andrew
So
Schultz.
he
He worked with Charlemagne
the God.
Yeah.
He's part of the Brilliant Idiots. He's a comedian. Really talented guy.
Really
it's
good
on
dude.
Netflix. It's called Schultz Saves America. It's a 4-part thing. They're only like, each episode's only
I
like
like
15
his
minutes
content.
long.
Okay.
And it
I like
started
it.
off, he was
And
doing
it-
stuff for Instagram, and Netflix
And the
bought
guy
it.
who worked with Charlemagne, he's on a very
Him,
famous.
I know the name. I don't know him
Breakfast
well.
Club, so a radio show.
Mhm.
Wrote a Pulitzer. I don't want to say Pulitzer. It might be.
He wrote 2
but
books.
he wrote a New York Times bestseller too.
Oh.
Books, man.
He wrote
And-
Black Privilege, and then he wrote Shook One, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me.
I'm not well cultured, so I don't know a lot
It's
of
not about
different
culture.
stuff.
I think
Listen,
with books,
we're
that are
going to
like-
bring you along, Drew.
We'll
okay?
bring you along.
He said
got
it's not
you.
You
about
lived up
culture.
the street, man. We got you, bro.
Kind of is.
Oh, you want to borrow this book, bro? Here, take it home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though? I think as far as when it comes to, like, culture and stuff like that, you know, you would think, like as Drew describes himself as like a white guy, straight white guy from
I don't think
the
he
suburbs.
gives himself enough credit.
He doesn't.
He
because
doesn't.
Yeah, I
you're not
agree.
going to meet
I
anybody that
agree with
knows
that.
more about like the Temptations, like Smokey
I was
Robinson,
gonna say,
like classic,
He'll come
like
up to
black
people and they're
artists,
like, well, how do you know that? Well, maybe I didn't think I was as black as I really knew I was.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. All like Drew
And you
is a
don't give
very
yourself enough
well
credit.
I think you're
educated
more
guy.
cultured than you give yourself credit.
Especially- Absolutely,
Well, especially when
absolutely.
it comes to music specifically, I would consider myself cultured because
Because your dad was
I
listening to that. 'cause
am a
he's old
musician.
school.
Yeah, I
After that,
right
when I
on
took
top
my
of
last drink.
so yeah, my dad listened to 50s and 60s. My mom listened to 70s and 80s, and we grew up in the 90s and 2000s. So like I had all of it.
I grew up in the same type of music you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
And he
Because
was
my
listening
grandparents'
to all
house
of it,
around
I
me
guarantee
all the
it.
time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him. He knows who James Brown is. He knows who
Yeah.
everybody
Oh
is.
yeah, he knows. He knows. But I don't consider myself cultured because like somebody like my example to base it off of is Steve, like who had a family who took him to different types of restaurants and stuff like that.
Okay.
Different types of food and everything.
But guess what? The way you're saying that, we didn't get to do that
Yeah.
either.
My family didn't
Sometimes-
take me to no culture restaurant. You want to know? Who,
Microphone.
you want
My
to
bad.
know who took us
Sometimes-
to the, shout out John
Laquan,
Guzman.
Laquan, push it a little bit away from
My
you so
bad.
it'll be easier.
I think sometimes it's what's financially available to you. Mm-hmm. And I think what you said is an excellent point. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking in the mic, y'all. 100 episode, we got to drink. But listen,
What was that?
the 100th
100th episode,
Oh,
he
okay.
has to drink.
I have to drink.
You good?
But
You
hear
want
me
some more?
out.
Yeah,
I think
let me get
in
that
a
tequila.
in regards to having good food, I think it's financial, but not even that. I think when you get to meet different people that live in different walks of life from you,
Right there.
and
Shout
you get
out
to
to John
understand
Guzman.
things the way, and this is why I'm so happy that we can all agree to this. We're all open-minded.
Uh-huh.
We're all cultural in a sense where we'll give it a chance. That's how I've always been. I cook that way even till this day. So for me, my friend took us to a Cuban restaurant. Not even that. He took me to a Brazilian restaurant, both of us. We went to a spot, I want to say
Brasilia Grill.
Brasilia Grill. The guy comes around, he brings these little pellets around. The hell is that? Yeah, man, eat it. It's just some sausage, man. All right, cool. Scoop, scoop.
That's not.
It tastes like some chicken. I swear, this is what happened. He told us to eat it and told us it was something else. This is not a joke. I ate 2 of them and I said, tastes amazing. What is this? It was chicken hearts.
Oh damn.
Yep.
So this is the point
Ever since then, we like chicken hearts.
But I don't want to make it sound like, oh, well, that's disgusting because
No.
look, if you
Amazing.
live somewhere else,
Oh, yeah.
that's like a staple. Like the way steak is for us here,
Yeah.
that's what they're
That's a
eating.
that's a delicacy somewhere else. And that's what I mean. Like I'm not used to that sort of thing. Like
But you've given yourself a chance to try those things.
yes, actually Steve was a huge help. He's the reason I eat seafood and sushi now. I went
That's awesome.
kind of ass backwards because I never ate any sort of seafood other than, tuna fish in a can.
Okay.
Growing up, I never ate any sort of seafood, but he had such an eclectic diet that he had tried all these different things and he made me try sushi. And it was the one time he's always been that motherfucker that's like I'm like, I don't like that.
Mother-
And he's like, just try it. I'm like, no, I don't like it. And he's like, just try it. And I'm like, I don't like it. More often than not, it's something I actually don't like, and I just want him to shut the hell up. But sushi, he was like, just try it. I was like, all right, finally at like 18 years old. I was like, all right, give it a try.
I think it was even older than that. I think it was older than
No,
that.
it was our first year like alone in LBI.
That was like 20, bro.
20. I was 20.
That's fair enough. But when you're listen. No, in fairness to him, when you're 18, you feel like when you're even 20, you feel like you're 18. Life just
You know what's
hits
crazy?
Like, you know what I'm talking.
When you're
I
that
drank
young.
a lot. It all just
feel
kind of
younger.
melded
Yeah,
together.
melted together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're that young, those 2 years make a world of difference.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
it does.
Huge difference.
I know.
But you're not thinking about it in that moment. You're thinking as an old man. Damn, 18 is 20.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, continue.
I did everything kind of ass backwards because he introduced me to sushi, and he gave me like one of the easier rolls to get down, and I was like, this is good, like I can get into this. But I had never had actual seafood, so like normally you want cooked seafood and then you can work up to sushi. I had sushi and then worked backwards to salmon and things like that.
You're like, where's the sushi at?
So
Yeah.
what was the roll, if
Right?
you don't mind me asking?
What do you mean?
What was the first roll you tried?
Yeah, what was it, by the way?
I think it was a California roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the.
Do you like spicy tuna?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
Spicy
spicy
tuna-
anything.
spicy
if you
tuna's
put the word
awesome.
spicy in front
I
of
bet
something,
you
I'm like,
tuna
I'm
was the
good.
second roll.
I'm good.
It might have been. It probably was spicy.
Most people
tuna.
try, and I always tell people this. I told my mom this. My mom doesn't like. Listen, true story. My mom would not eat any raw fish, no red meat that's cooked past well done. Promise, never would do it.
You mean she ate meat past well done?
She would only eat it.
She would only eat it if it's well done.
Yeah.
He heard me. So
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, if you bring her to a restaurant and my meat's pink or any of this, oh hell no.
Pause.
So we would go. To,
You don't got to pause for the pig.
yeah, I ain't
What the
pink.
pig?
But the point I'm trying to make is, she would see us eating certain things. We would go to college. That's what it. That's honestly
would
what
go to
diversified us. I'll go hang out with my fraternity brothers, all different walks of life, from Asian to South African to North, like whatever.
You get cultured that way.
Yep.
But that's the thing, though.
That's-
you need that in your life.
That's the beauty of friends.
That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. Because for me, all right, now I'm trying sushi. Now I'm trying this. Now I'm trying that. Now I'm trying some chicken hearts and not even thinking twice about it. Not even thinking twice
Even
about
tried
it.
tripe soup, which I did not
Ooh,
think I would
that's-
like, and that was actually
That's rough.
bomb.
That's
It was
a rough
actually
one.
Bomb.
That's a rough
I'm
one.
not even gonna lie. Go to a Cuban restaurant and try that. It is
What is it?
bomb.
tripe. It's
Tripe
the
soup.
lining of a cow's stomach. The inside of
Do
a
you
cow's
think
stomach.
of it? You're like, see, you hear it. You're like, oh hell no.
Wait till you see it.
And then John did the same.
By the
thing.
way, people, a disclaimer. Go ahead, Art.
Tripa. That's
No,
what
I
it's
was saying
called.
John did the same thing. He
correct.
told me it was something it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I tasted the flavors, and you're mainly tasting beef anyway in,
Yeah.
in that soup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, then he told me after, and I was like, what?
It's like, oh, you want some good dick soup? Huh?
Yeah, no, like yeah. I was like, what did I
Hey,
just?
go dick.
What did I just eat?
Hey,
I can't believe he ate it.
I got one
you
for
ate you ate the lining of a cow's stomach.
Do you want some
What?
Rocky
Like-
Mountain oysters?
Bull balls? Nah, we're good.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows what those are.
So what me
Not
and Drew
all.
were just talking about.
Not all.
So you know George.
Yes.
You know
Yeah,
her.
George.
So George and
Georgie,
are-
Georgie Kafkas.
Hey,
No,
hey, Malaka, how you doing over here? So George and Louie are Greek friends.
Okay.
And we used to always go over to George's house for Greek Easter, and they always have like a goat on the spit, and they would even have sometimes. This is before
Goat
our
meat
time.
and lamb meat is underrated, by the way.
Amen to
Horribly
that.
underrated.
But
I'll say
listen,
that.
they would even have a thing called goat head soup. You going to the bathroom?
no,
No,
it's-
he's.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go though, so if we can do an intermission.
No, go ahead. Go pee. We'll keep going.
I gave you one of
He
those.
doesn't want to miss anything.
pissed
part-
already?
I
I wanna
gave
be
you
a
one of
part
those
of it all.
zooming
I'm like-
clips when I do the, you zoom in,
Well, listen, y'all, I gotta
acting
pee.
goofy.
Go do it. Do it. Don't
There's
worry.
a spot on the side of his garage. You can just
Nah,
add to
you
it.
could go in the house like a grown up.
Nah,
It's
I'm
all
gonna go
right.
as fast as I can so I get back.
So anyway, so
Come back, y'all.
You're gonna miss the goat dick story.
So you would go to Georgie's. You guys would have all this cultured food.
yeah, they would have like goat. You would have like liver and stuff like that. So we used to joke. Our friend Darren, who was the source of so many of our jokes, he would always joke around like, I don't want to go there because they're gonna make me look like an idiot. They're gonna fuck with me. They're gonna say, oh no, look, you come here for the first time, you have to eat the goat dick. You know? No. It's not
doing
bad.
that.
It's not bad. You eat it. It's good. It's like, yeah. And then I'm gonna be the asshole. I'm gonna eat it. And go, oh my god, he actually ate it.
Yeah.
So look at this guy. And then every year he's gonna, hey, look, who's here? A goat dick.
Goat
huh?
dick guy.
Hey, it's a goat dick. He's
Goat
here.
dick.
That was one
I
of the
kinda feel his pain, though.
funniest people I've ever met in my life.
we gotta talk about our friend Darren, because Darren.
Did they try to make him eat goat dick?
No, he was
No, this was just what went on in his head. Why he didn't want to go to Greek Easter.
Why did he think someone was going to make him eat a dick of another animal in
You
the
know
first
why?
place?
Because it made sense. Because
How?
knowing George's
George's
family, and his
family,
dad,
yeah.
that seems like something that he
Have
would've
they
done
roasted
with us.
goat dick over fire?
They roasted goat, everything else.
Well, I mean, it was the
But that don't mean
entire.
it had a dick attached
It was
to
the entire goat, so the dick was still
They
attached.
really have the whole goat on the spit.
Yeah.
But the point is that Darren was one of those guys. He was so good on his feet with like jokes and stuff like that. He used to joke around. You know my dad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ralphie B over there.
Shout out
Yeah,
Ralphie
Ralphie B.
So you
With
know
the toned legs.
he's very much like straight out of The Sopranos, like
Uh-huh.
North Jersey Italian.
Hey.
And he was
The way I always like to describe it,
Blanco.
anytime I'm telling a
Tequila?
story about
Yes,
Ralphie, anytime I'm telling a story about
My
Ralphie,
Uber
is
driver
that
outside.
there was a picture on your fridge when we were growing up of him and his friends with the cast of The Sopranos,
with
and
the actual cast, like they were at a Sopranos party.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
awesome.
him and, I don't know how it was worked out, but it was my dad and his immediate group of friends with the actual cast
Yes,
of
of
The
the
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
and you
you
couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, you can't tell who's who.
So that's
how much
that's
they
like
looked alike.
yeah, that's who his dad is.
That's crazy.
And it's not like my dad's like some fucking rich guy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we were okay, but he doesn't have money like that. Sorry, Dad. I hate to blow the secret, but the point being, like, he's very much that stereotypical Italian guy. And at one point, my friend Corey, he's not been on the podcast. Shout out to Corey anyway.
Where's Corey at?
Corey, I think
Virginia,
he was in Virginia. I don't know where he is.
We need him on the show.
I think he came back up.
military, so he bounces around
He
a
was
little bit.
he was a Marine.
But would it'd be a dope episode.
It would be a good episode. I haven't had any military men on here. But he was coming back, and we were going to take him to Atlantic City. You know, he was coming back from a tour. He was in Iraq. So Darren was making fun. He was like doing an impression of my dad. He's like, you know what it's going to be like when he comes back? He's going to be like, hey, Corey, how you doing over here? Hey, listen, you guys go out there, Atlantic City, behave yourselves. He's like, oh, Robin, give me a towel. Give me a towel. He's like, hey, oh, who am I? Don't shoot. You know what I mean? And now this is Darren doing an impression of my dad.
This is just
this guy
the shit
sounds
that
funny
came out
as
of
hell,
his
man.
mouth.
I apologize if that's offensive to anybody, but
I'm sorry,
go fuck
too.
yourself.
I'm sorry
It's a joke.
I'm
I
sorry
almost
for
spit my
laughing, but
fucking
that shit
liquor
was
out my
funny.
mouth. I'm sorry.
That shit was funny. I'm
He
sorry.
was like, Steve,
Excuse
Steve,
my
listen,
language.
I want you to go to the bakery for me. I want you to pick up. Here's the list. I want you to give me a half a loaf of bread. I want you to give me 2 canul and a half of freshkat. I'm like, what's the freshkat? He goes, I don't know. I just made it up. I'm like, it sounds
Something
good.
for fresh prosciutto.
So we
That
didn't.
man was so funny.
I really
Just on a regular basis, like
as much as I wanted.
That's funny.
As much as I wanted to kill him, a lot of times,
That's how he joked, though. That's funny.
dude, he was a hilarious fucking
That's
dude.
funny. Yo, that would have made me. If he was doing that while I was drinking something, I would have spit my shit out.
He was one of those guys. He was one of the most talented drummers that you'll ever meet in your life.
he was one of the most
That's
talented
dope.
people
Oh,
I've
so he
ever
got
met in
rhythm.
my
He
life.
was a
No, so
disgusting drummer.
your
After-
dad's from an era. No, listen, we're Italians.
No, not my dad. My friend Darren.
Even so, though. Does your dad know Darren?
I think he's
met
met
him
once.
a couple times.
Darren knows of my dad because my dad is one of those
Listen.
guys where like his reputation precedes.
Italian.
Oh, so he would go off the reputation.
No, but this is
Yeah.
why I'm telling you, Italians know soul music.
They do.
No,
they know
they're-
like, the
they're in the
doo-wop,
Barry
they-
White
yeah.
era. No,
no.
this
My
is a
dad's
fact.
before that. My dad's before
But
Barry
I'm
White.
saying, even so, he grew into that.
Let me
There's major respect there.
let me ask you guys about this because this is something that's always kind of stuck in my craw.
Okay.
So those Italian guys, like the mob guys, the stereotypical guys you think.
Right.
Not necessarily if they're in the mob, but that ilk, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
A lot of those guys, they come from like the doo-wop days, you know, like the street corner serenade
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Oh, they can sing.
But think of the movie like A Bronx Tale.
Right.
Okay.
I watched the movie, by the way. I just watched it.
Never seen it.
during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
But
It's another
like,
one,
No.
one of the classics that I've never
All right,
seen.
so
I gotta
just-
see it too. I've only
so-
seen pieces.
So I just watched it. I'm telling the camera. I watched this from start to finish in 2020 for the first time in my life. Excellent movie. I even did more research just to go on like comment sections of like boards, like of the YouTubes. I wanted to see how other people felt about scenes I felt about.
So then here's the thing, because that movie was there was a lot of
That's what I'm
racial
saying.
issues in that movie.
It pulls on your strings.
The
It
main
does.
character is a kid, and he grows up around his father
ends
was
up being Chaz Palminteri.
in real life. But
Yeah.
the kid Calogero, his father was a bus driver, he's an honest working man. Calogero. But he was enamored with this guy. He was the local mob boss, Chaz Palminteri, and he was kind of torn between those two worlds, between the honest working man and then the mob guy who cut corners, made a lot of money, and then at the same time, he lives in the Bronx and he ends up falling for this black girl. But then in that culture, the Italians, they don't mix.
It's
Not
unacceptable.
okay.
Not okay at all. They would say, if they saw you with something, they would call you a dog or a mutt. They would say you have no heart. Like that
he
was what
loved
it was.
this girl.
But he loved this girl. It's a beautiful girl. And he's torn between all these different opposing forces. Even given that, and so many Italian guys from this area, this is Jersey. We have the real Italians here. They love that movie. They can't stop talking about that movie. But God forbid they have to
Live that life.
God forbid they have to interact with a black person.
Robert De Niro married a white woman. I mean, a black woman.
Yeah.
Just
Did
had
he?
to say that.
Well,
Yes,
that,
he did.
yeah.
Oh.
But that's the thing. It always blows my mind. Like, you love this thing. You love this music. You love all these black artists.
Yes.
You love these black personalities.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But you don't want to talk to them in real life. Like, it
That's
makes
a
me kind
lie.
of crazy.
Yeah.
And that's on both sides, like Trump said.
But it's weird. It's weird because you think guys that came up around the mob, they could spot a con from a mile away. They fall for a guy like Trump. Like, what
Well, I
is
only
that?
said that because it's both sides. Because just like a white guy will fall for a black guy, it's no different than a black dude falling for white women. It's just more prevalent in like media based now.
Said guy. Never mind.
I didn't mean that.
I know what you mean. I
I
know.
know what you meant, but
Black
I
guy-
know
no,
what you said.
this
I know
is-
you can't let him. You can't let him slip.
Hold on, no, I'll
I was like, bro, you just
I'll
said
clear-
guy and guy.
I'll clear up what I said. Black guy, white woman,
A white guy, black
black.
woman. Is that all right?
He's
Am I
looking
fucking
it
you
up.
up? I'm sorry.
I'm going to take
Black
the tequila
guy-
from
Yeah,
you.
you might take that glass. Take that glass.
All right, black guy, white woman, white guy, black girl. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
It's no different to me.
I think
You get to you can have what you want is what I'm saying.
Well,
Nobody should be, and that's what the Bronx Tale was about to me. Because I watched the movie and I felt like, damn, I felt like, because she was in some dangerous situations where he
Yeah.
felt like, I'm gonna put my life on the line, and I'll make sure that you're good. And he had that because of Sonny.
Yep.
Sonny was the mobster, the Italian guy that got killed. Am I saying the wrong name?
Spoiler alert.
This is what he did with his hands. That was
Yeah,
the
no,
thing
I
he
was
did.
like, am I saying? I was like,
No,
yeah.
you
Don't
got it.
tell me
You
the
good.
whole movie, though, dog.
No,
I'm
but-
with him. I ain't seen the
Jesus,
whole
I
thing.
ain't seen it, man.
No,
It's a little.
Just give me the plot.
Hang on,
Don't.
we're a
that's
little
the plot.
past spoilers at
Plot.
this
Yeah,
point.
I know.
No spoilers.
Sonny mentor looking out for Congelo.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
So
Don't
listen,
tell me what Sonny did for him.
if you
though.
guys, if anybody watching or listening hasn't seen it,
I'm sorry, I ain't seen the Bronx
Yeah,
Tale.
a Bronx Tale.
It's not a new movie.
It's not new.
It's
not
our
new.
fault.
Yeah.
See, I told y'all I had a movie just like Drew that I didn't see that everyone saw.
But in their defense, I watched it this year from a young kid to a grown man now, and it just makes a whole lot.
I saw
more
it as a
sense to
kid,
me,
but none of that shit
more
made
than
sense.
it
I got to
does.
see it as an adult, so I technically didn't see it.
It doesn't count.
Yeah, it don't count.
There's some things in the movie that you could tell, like, all right.
But you know what I
this
saw?
person wasn't the best actor. But then there's other things like, no, there's a
No, they were
legit-
the right people for that role. All of them.
You can, sometimes child actors are not
He's
Did
right.
you see the gambling scene?
the game. It's like, oh,
Get in the
I don't
closet.
want that
Get
face
in the
looking at this face.
closet.
Put him in a bedroom.
So
Put him in
I
a
never.
bedroom.
You just mentioned I never
You
have
can't
a
put him in a
problem.
bedroom. Eddie Mush is in there.
Yo, he put him in the bathroom.
He's not gonna fit.
with two dudes.
Jojo
He's
the
like,
Whale. Stop fucking breathing on me, Jojo.
Get in the
Sorry.
bathroom. You know what? Get
Put him
in
in
the
the
bathroom.
bedroom. Eddie Mush. Don't let that money touch his money. He's a fucking jinx, this guy.
Yeah, the dude said he was winning and he rolled out and lost straight up.
There was a character in the movie
Yeah.
called Eddie Mush, where he was just cursed, where anything he touched, he would lose.
Wow.
So he
they're at
bet
the, they're at
before
the
they all
racetrack.
put their big bets on. He lost it. They were like, "Nah, put him in the bathroom,
They're
bro."
at, it shows
Like,
they're at the racetrack, and they all bet on this horse. The horse is winning. All of a sudden, Eddie Mush comes down. He's like, "Come on, Kryptonite!" Like, what? He bet on the horse? Ah, Jesus! They all rip up the
You
tickets.
see him
They rip
walk-
up the tickets and they walk away. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, the horse loses.
Yo, so he loses in the back crap, the crap games. Listen,
I got to see this movie now.
They put him
great.
in the bathroom, and then there's another dude who starts betting, but he gets in the way because he wants young Calogero.
Calogero.
You didn't say
I
his
said the
name
wrong.
right. Just go.
It sounded a little more Italian the way he said it.
That's why
He
I
say
said.
congelado, which means frozen in Spanish.
I only, honestly, I only heard it the way the Italians do said it, but
I know they don't enunciate every syllable.
they don't.
Yeah, they leave some shit out.
That's why I'm saying it that way, and I'm wrong, YouTube. But anyway, they put him on the dice. They let him roll out, and because dude's standing next to him, he rolls a bad number. They're like, "Yo, you gotta go to the bathroom." So he goes in the bathroom. They got another dude who gets in the way of him rolling.
Gets in the way of him rolling, like
Yeah.
standing in
So,
front of somebody rolling.
So first off, there's a fat guy named Jojo the Whale, and every time they're getting ready to roll, so Sonny is the gangster, and he's got the kid Calogero.
Okay.
And he wants the kid to roll
Calogero.
for him. So
It's
the kid,
Calogero.
he's, I want you to roll. So he throws one, and he hits it. So then this guy Jojo is behind Sonny, and he's trying to look over, trying to get it on the
They're
action.
like, "Nah, you gotta get out of
He
here."
keeps Sonny's like, Jojo, quit fucking breathing on me. He's like, you know what? Put him in a bathroom. So he makes him go stand in the bathroom.
Just for breathing, but they put him in with the jinx.
So then the guy Eddie Mush is trying to bet on the number. So he's like,
They
no,
let
no,
him
no,
roll.
no, 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 I don't want that money touching this money. He goes, hey, Mike, put him in the bathroom. So he makes him go stand in the bathroom with Jojo the Whale.
literally bathroom.
The bathroom.
Bathroom.
Not
Bathroom,
bathroom.
there's no H in there.
Throw it over there. Throw it over there.
So then
Throw it over there.
there's a guy named Coffee
Tro,
Cake.
not throw.
Throw it
Tro.
over there.
Listen. There's a guy named Coffee Cake. And they call him Coffee Cake because he's got such a bad complexion. They say his face looks like a
Oh, his
drinks
face
coffee
is like
cake.
pitted up, yo. Like, yo, yeah.
He's
It's not a cool nickname.
Coffee cake.
That is not a
So
cool
Coffee Cake is sitting by the wall, and then Colotro's getting ready to throw the dice, and Sonny's like, no, I don't want that face looking at this face when he's throwing the dice. He goes, put a towel over his head.
So they put a towel
So
over his head.
He's
They
like,
put
I don't
two
wanna-
dudes in the
Hang on.
bathroom.
He goes, I don't want to put a
and
towel
the-
over my head. That's
and-
embarrassing. He's
and
all
the-
right, well, then put him in the bathroom.
Yo,
So they shove him
so
in the
they're
bathroom.
and the one dude's talking shit. He's like, yo, why we here?
And they show the bathroom, and they show Eddie Mush. He's in there. He's like, what's the matter? My money's no good.
He's
He's,
like-
holding his money up to the light looking at it.
Yo, I have to see this
That's
movie
what I
now.
said, yo.
I have to see this
Yo,
now.
he's in the bathroom.
Yo, I'm like,
Now you don't have to. You know the whole movie.
No, but
No,
I gotta
we didn't
see
give
the
it away.
visuals. I
You
have
gotta
to see
see
the
it.
bath. I
All
have to
right,
see this
hang on.
bathroom.
Let's
scene.
reel it in. Let's reel it in here.
Y'all got me on
So
there.
we're
I just
sorry.
kind of sat back for a minute and let the three of you
I love
just
it.
kind of go.
I was watching them
I love
too.
movies.
the two of you just like explaining
it.
Listen,
in unison.
That's why when you say Godfather, I'm like, look, man, that's my groove.
you're never gonna get better than Goodfellas. Look right up there.
Yep.
See that? You know I like this painting. One dog's looking this
Sonny,
way, one dog's looking that
Listen,
way, and this guy's saying
the
"Way
only
off from
reason
me."
I feel a certain way about Goodfellas is because they all told.
That's true. Well,
What?
they didn't
Yeah,
all. They didn't all tell.
Not all of them.
Henry Hill
Henry
is a
told.
teller.
Yeah, Henry Hill.
And
Yeah. So the main
according
character,
to the hold on,
Hold on,
according
Al Pacino's guy didn't tell them.
He's not. Al Pacino's not in that movie.
Pacino's
I mean,
not in it.
excuse
Oh, hang on. Time out. One at a
Pesci,
time.
you're talking
Pesci,
about.
excuse me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he died.
No, Robert De Niro. He didn't tell.
He didn't
No,
tell.
he got told on.
He got
Yeah,
told
that's what
on.
I He got told
his
on. He didn't
character
tell.
his character died. He was a
Pesci.
killer.
Pesci got killed.
Pesci did.
Pesci
yeah.
got killed. Not
Oh,
De
Pesci
Niro.
got
De Niro
murdered
got
in cold blood.
jail.
The real character.
Because Pesci.
What
I
I'm
fucked
messed the
up.
names up. I'm sorry, everybody.
Henry Hill's a whole snitch. He told. He's dead. No longer alive.
No, he's
he's
alive.
dead now.
alive.
He's
He's in
dead now.
witness
Oh,
protection.
but he died of natural causes. at
Yeah.
this
No,
point.
he was in
Henry
witness-
Hill's dead.
He was in witness protection. Though.
He was a
No
witness.
duh.
He
he
didn't
was-
die
yeah.
from. Like,
I get that.
okay.
He died in
So,
set
fun fact,
Go ahead.
and again, random music facts that I know. So Joe Pesci was actually involved in the creation of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Because
Really?
he grew up with those dudes. He knew them
True
all.
story.
Why was I gonna say his name like 2 minutes ago? Like I'm not even kidding. Frankie Valli. I was really thinking about his name when they were talking about the Goodfellas.
So one of the original Four Seasons, the guy who kind of controlled all the business early on before he fucked all of it up, was named Tommy DeVito.
Is that his brother or cousin or something?
No. But they named Joe Pesci's
Pesci's
character in Goodfellas after that guy that he was friends with. The guy that he was based off of, I don't remember his real last name, but it wasn't DeVito. He was
Yeah.
Tommy something, and they named that character Tommy DeVito because he grew up with Tommy DeVito from the Four Seasons.
That's crazy. I didn't even know
full
that.
of that useless knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's not
So
useless.
when I say
No,
I'm
the
cultured, Music, I'm cultured.
No, you can put the pieces together.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me.
That's why you don't give yourself enough credit.
Yeah, you don't.
I never do.
You don't.
Let me pause
I
here.
really don't.
So listen, we're coming up. We're almost at 2 hours right now. So I want to at least hit the last.
I think we should have a part 2 podcast for 100.
No, listen. This is just going to keep going once I stop the recording. But the last thing I want to talk about while we're recording, okay? Now I got all you guys here. Everybody's lubed up. Everybody's feeling good.
Amazing.
Lubed up.
You lost me at lubed up,
Amazing.
They're
I said a lot.
emotionally
Remember
lubed
we
up.
talked about not giving a fuck?
Yeah,
I don't care. You think I'm gay? All right, cool.
homie. Different kind of lubed up, man.
I said a lot.
But listen.
I said a lot.
All right,
I said a
hold on.
lot.
Everyone. So, since this is episode 100 of A Pot Amongst Men, okay?
Uh-huh.
This show was meant to explore what it means to be a good man today. A good man today.
So would you like us to explain what a good
So
man?
yeah, exactly. What I want to hear from you guys
Okay.
is what when you hear the term good man, what does that mean to you? How does one be a good man in 2021?
Okay.
Given everything that's going on in the world, what is the way?
I'm going to tell you
Hold on.
Yeah, we'll let you go first.
I'm ready.
Let the man speak.
I should never have bought that tequila.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
But
They should have never bought you
The bottle will be
money.
more than half gone.
you
when
won't
he
be the
leaves.
first person to say that word on here, and I'm not. It wasn't
He's
a
getting
white
an
guy.
Uber,
I promise
everyone.
you.
I'm not saying it.
Anyway, what does it mean to be a good man today? Because at the end of the day, that's what the show is about. How do we be good men? How do we have fun? How do we be ourselves? But how do we be good men? How do we hold each other accountable? How do we evolve as men and as human beings, as fathers, as husbands, as brothers, as sons? Like, what do we do? How do we operate in this world in the best way, the most beneficial way possible? What does it mean to be a good man to you?
Anyone?
Laquan, you said you had one ready.
You go first.
For me to be a good man is to be honorable. It's to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. Period. How I feel about you is how I'm going to feel about you. From start to finish. And that breaks down who you are as a human being, what your moral values are, etc. So for me, to be a good man, to be an honest person, is to tell you the truth. To lie to you in your face does nothing but bring dishonor and disgust. And I hate liars more than I hate thieves. And I don't like thieves either. So for me to say, honorable man, say what you mean what you say. Keep it 100. Keep it 100. And be honest with yourself and your family. And keep your values high. Without that, I don't know how we could have a discussion. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Rashaun?
Say a real man is a person that can not think about themselves. Somebody that thinks of others. Somebody that's responsible, takes full accountability, and shows full transparency to not give anyone any doubts. I think a good man is a person that has respect for women, has respect for all cultures, has respect for men and women, just human beings, and wants to always do the right thing. Anybody that falls in the gray area of that is not a good man. Anybody that has to question what a good decision is, or, like if you even have to question what's right and what's wrong, you're not a good person. Person should know, and you should have been raised right to know. And if you weren't raised right to know, a good man will find his way, and he'll make sure that he knows. Through life's experiences, whether they're mistakes, whether there's something he went through with no mistakes, he'll learn. And he'll take that, he'll use that information that he's gathered throughout his experiences, and he'll make himself a better person every day.
I like it. Drewby?
So I think what does it mean to be a good man is nowadays an obsolete question. It's more, what does it mean to be a good person? Because there's not man or woman nowadays. 70 years ago, yeah, sure, man, woman, they had different roles in life. Nowadays, it's very different. So just be a good person, and don't be ignorant. Don't don't judge people based on your own beliefs. If you wanna lock yourself in a closet and, you know, pray to this or pray to that and believe something, that's fine. But don't walk out that front door and then judge somebody else because they don't believe the same thing that you believe, or look the same way that you do, or feel the same way that you do. Just be a decent human being and allow people to be their own person without, I mean, if you feel that somebody is a horrible human being and they've shown you that they are, then that's one thing. But, you know, don't just judge somebody because they feel differently than you do. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, more than anything else, is what it means to be a good person.
So,
can I add one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just step outside your comfort zone. If it's something that's not in your norm, I totally felt what you said, Andy, and that's how I feel. Step outside your comfort.
Wow, Andy.
Wow, nobody has called me Andy in 20
called you.
years.
I was gonna say we haven't called you Andy since we were kids.
Well, I did. I grew up down the street from him.
Yeah, he earned it. He's good.
But no,
He's grandfathered in.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's heartfelt what he said, and I think you have to step outside your comfort zone and try to understand people for what they are, rather than what you are.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well said. Well put.
I like that.
I'm going to let this be the closing statement of episode 100 of this show. So, to me, now anybody listening, you guys have heard me talk, you know, ad nauseum for hundreds of hours, over 100 hours now. A good man today is a complicated thing. Some men feel like they're targets now. Some men feel like they're being oppressed, which I think is completely misinformed and completely mistaken. What it means to be a man today is not necessarily what it meant to be a man 50 years ago. The world has changed. We're not the only ones out there. We're not the only ones on the playing field. You know, men are no longer the dominant force in the world. Even if we still hold most of the positions of power,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we share power now with women, and we have to accept that. And it's not a matter of falling. It's not a matter of losing status. It's just a matter of equality, and not necessarily equity, you know, versus equality, which are two different things. But we're not the only ones in this world. We're not the only ones that get to make decisions, because every decision we make doesn't only affect us; it affects everyone around us. Mm-hmm. And it's well past time for us to get on board with that. You know, the ways that we were raised, the things that we were taught, may have worked in older generations when the world was a different place. But now, a lot of those things don't apply anymore. You know, a lot of the lessons that we learned as kids, a lot of the ways we were socialized from a young age, simply don't work anymore. They don't apply in the world of 2021.
Which is horrifying, because we're not that old.
No, we're not. But here's the thing. Here's
We'll
the
be
rub.
one day.
We're still needed. We're still important. Whether you're a father, whether you're a husband, whether you're just a single guy, just being a man in the world, we all still have a role to play. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that there's so many men out there that feel like they don't have a place anymore, which is just simply not it's not true. It's not the case.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's mistaken. And what I want to put out there for everybody listening is that whether you're a big tough guy, you're a big muscular fucking cock diesel motherfucker, or whether you're some nerdy guy who's really good at computers, you know, like the stereotypical nerd, there's a place for everybody. Being a man is not only one thing. You're born a male, or whatever you are. You grow up, you be a man. A man is not limited by a set of rules. You're not stuck in this little box of how to operate. We call it the man box. There's not just a limited set of rules on how to be a man. The problem is that for so long, we've all operated within this limited set of rules and limited set of behaviors that are socially acceptable, and that we've forgotten what it means to be a human being. Mm-hmm. We've wrongly associated these behaviors and emotions with being masculine or feminine when they're really just human. Mm-hmm. You know, things like empathy, things like compassion, things like love and caring. For whatever reason, you know, back in the day, we said, "Oh, well, that's for women. Men don't get to do that. We don't have that luxury. We have to go out.
Why the hell not?
We have to go out and kill things.
Everyone does it.
Listen, we have to go out and kill things so that the tribe can persevere. We can keep going. We can eat. We can live." Okay, that may have worked back then, but that's not the world we live in today. Mm-hmm. You know, we're sharing the reins of power, and we need to get on board with that, because women aren't limited by these arbitrary set of rules that we have.
Yep.
Women can just be. You could be a woman, you could be a tomboy, you could be a girly girl. It doesn't matter. You're just a woman.
Yep.
But for men, for some reason, it's like,
can't-
you can be tough and strong, or you could be a pussy. You could be a maggot, so to speak, with an F.
Punk.
Little do you know if they get hit.
Exactly. Some of the toughest guys,
Yeah.
they take one shot. Next thing you know, they fall to
Yeah,
pieces.
I'm a fairly feminine dude, but I will whoop your ass.
Fucking guy's a southpaw. He can box the shit out
I
of you.
believe it.
Anyway,
100%.
my
He's
point
fooling
being,
Don't sleep. Don't sleep, because you will get sleep.
my point being, for everybody out there listening, whether you're a big tough guy, whether you're a smaller guy, whether you're a fat guy, a skinny guy, it doesn't matter. We're all men, okay? But the point is that to be a good man today, you have to be self-aware. That's the biggest thing. You have to know your shortcomings. You have to know your strengths. You have to understand that no one person can be everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be all the things that we consider manly. Nobody's ever going to be that. And to try to chase that, yeah, you might fall short, which is still pretty good, but you're never going to reach that point. We have to accept ourselves as human beings first and foremost. Okay? And we have to stop associating these things, like I said, like compassion, like empathy. We have to stop associating those with being feminine or masculine.
They're not feminine
They're
characters.
not feminine
Exactly.
because a
They're
real
just
man is
human.
going to feel that.
Exactly.
Like-
exactly.
I'll give an example, and I'm going to slide right out to let you finish. Godfather, Vito Corleone, he had that. He had compassion. When he was seeing people done wrong, he stepped in. That was a real man, like, in terms of character.
He didn't step in marriages.
A real man always makes time for his family.
Exactly.
A man that doesn't make time for his family is no man at all. Pretty sure that's kind of close to the quote.
No, you're right.
But at the end of the day, this podcast exists for men. Whether you're, like I said, a strong man, a weak man, a fat man, a skinny man, it doesn't matter. White man, black man, Asian man, Hispanic man, it
Why'd
doesn't
you
matter.
point at me when you said Asian?
I pointed everything at you. You're not Asian or Hispanic or anything.
Is the fiance Asian? No, I know. Moulin Rouge. No, I'm joking.
We gotta end this quick.
He's had too
Going
much
downhill
tequila.
real quick.
At the end of the day, this is for every man out there. Whether you're a rich man or poor man, it doesn't matter. We're here to talk about the real shit that we go through every day. And I love you all for coming on this ride with us. I love all three of you guys
I love
for
y'all
being here
too,
with
man.
me. And, that's really it. That's all we got for you. So keep tuning in. I hope we'll be back for another 100 episodes.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I got for you. Otherwise, we're just going to make asses of ourselves. if we keep
Always
going
tune
on.
We already
baby.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much have.
And you guys good? We good to close this out?
We great. Episode 100, baby.
Cheers,
Love
boys.
you all. Cheers.
Love y'all.
Put them up. Put them up.
I stood up.
Salute.
Milk was a bad choice.
Thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate it. We love you all.
Love y'all.
We'll see you on episode
Happy
101.
2021 to everybody.